and a good evening to you from Arlington Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight, the Twins and the Texas Rangers starting a 3-game series, the final road trip of the year for the Twins. 3 here and then 3 in Kansas City to close it out. And, of course, the Twins need a win or a Kansas City loss for the Twins to clinch outright the Western Division title for 1987. The Twins now with a record of 84-72 have a 6-game lead over the second-place Royals with 6 games left to play. Oakland eliminated yesterday when they lost to the Chicago White Sox. Along with John Gordon and engineer Dale Doss, this is Herb Carneal, and tonight it'll be knuckleballer Joe Niekro, who had to forego his start yesterday with a sore hip, on the mound tonight for the Twins. Joe has won 7 and lost 12. Defeated Texas September 22nd at the Metrodome in a 6-4 ball game. And for Bobby Valentine's Rangers, who have lost 6 in a row, it'll be right-hander Jose Guzman, who pitched against the Twins last Wednesday and was a loser at a 4-2 ball game, although he pitched pretty well. He pitched 7 1/3 innings. He had just 4 runs, 5 hits, walked 1, and he struck out 6. The Texas Rangers, I mentioned, have now lost 6 games in a row, and Bobby Valentine, with the team closing out its season here at home, would like to have the ball club end up on a winning note, and of course it is always the case. The Rangers, who were eliminated in the recent series at the Metrodome, would like nothing better than to knock off the Twins. No club likes to be the team that another team clinches a division or a pennant against, and that certainly is true of the Texas Rangers. Weather-wise, we had a little shower here in the area this morning. They're forecasting possible scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm this evening as a cool front moves through the area. Right now it is 81 degrees, and the breeze is coming out of the north at a pretty good clip, which means that'll be blowing out towards right field. Although with this ballpark, it's pretty tough to judge what the wind is doing because they put those big billboards on top of the stands all around the outfield, so the wind is knocked down a lot, although coming in from the north, it's going to be blowing out towards the outfield and perhaps swirling around a bit in the outfield. Jose Guzman, 14 and 11, going for the Texas Rangers tonight, and Joe Niekro with a record of 7 and 12, going for the Twins. The Twins so far have had an interesting seasonal series with the Rangers. The two teams so far have split the 10 games, but the Twins did not win a game here. Earlier in the season, they lost all 4, but on the other hand, they defeated the Rangers 5 out of 1 at the Metrodome this year. Great win for the Twins yesterday, and of course a tremendous song as the Twins drew over 52,000 for the ball game yesterday, and a 3-game series with the Rangers drew almost 152,000, leaving the Twins for the year at 2,082,000. Rangers are taking the field now here at Arlington Stadium. Of course, it's an all-grass infield and outfield, and we have the starting lineups and the play-by-play of tonight's ball game for you in just 2 minutes. Now let's get to John Gordon and tonight's starting lineups.
All right, thanks, Herb. First of all, for the Twins, leading off and playing in left field, Dan Gladden. Batting second and playing shortstop, Greg Gagne. Batting third for the Twins tonight, playing in center field, Kirby Puckett. Batting fourth, the Twins first baseman, Kent Herbeck. Batting fifth and playing at third base, Gary Gaetti. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Randy Bush. Batting seventh for the Twins, playing in right field, Tom Brunansky. Batting eighth and playing at second base will be Steve Lombardozzi. And batting ninth and catching for the Twins tonight will be Sal Butera. For Tom Kelly's Minnesota Twins, Gladden, Gagne, and Puckett, followed by Herbeck, Gaetti, and Bush, then Brunansky, Lombardozzi, and Butera. Now for the Texas Rangers, leading off and playing at second base, Jerry Brown. Batting second and playing at shortstop, Scott Fletcher. Batting third, the right fielder, Ruben Sierra. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Pete O'Brien. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Larry Parrish. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Pete Incaviglia. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Oda B. McDowell. Batting eighth and catching for the Rangers tonight, Gino Petralli. And batting ninth and playing at third base will be Tom O'Malley. For Bobby Valentine's Texas Rangers, Brown, Fletcher, and Sierra. O'Brien, Parrish, and Incaviglia. McDowell, Petralli, and O'Malley. Here we go as Dan Gladden steps in. And the right-handed hitter ready to face the right-handed pitcher, Jose Guzman. To tell you about it, the voice of the Minnesota Twins, Herb Carneal.
All right, thank you, John. And now again, everybody, in a call strike to Dan Gladden hitting at .257. Dan with 8 homers and 38 runs batted in. 81 degrees here in Arlington as we start the ball game on Guzman. The right-hander delivers, and a ground ball hit out behind second base into center field, a base hit. Dan Gladden with a leadoff single. And next will be Greg Gagne hitting at .262, 10 homers and 40 runs batted in. The Rangers. Gino Petrone behind the plate, Tom O'Malley at third base, Scott Fletcher at shortstop, Jerry Brown at second, Pete O'Brien at first, Pete Incaviglia in left field, Odie McDowell in center, and Ruben Sierra in right field. Now Guzman, the right-hander, with a record of 14 and 11. Throws over to first base. Gladden gets back. Dan, the team leader in steals, 25 stolen bases in 34 attempts. Now the set by Guzman and the pitch. And around the bunt, and Gaggs takes it outside. Ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Rocky Rowe, the ball and strike umpire. Larry Barnett, Greg Kost, Tim Cheetah on the bases. Rick Rennick coaching at third base. Wayne Terwilliger at first. Along with Dick Such, Rick Stelmasic, and Tony Oliva. The manager Tom Kelly, the Twins in the third base dugout here. Gagne hits the ground ball, just foul outside of third base. Foul ball. Gladden is rounding third base, but the third base umpire, Cheetah, called it foul, and now Rick Rennick is charging out there to argue. Here comes Tommy Kelly out, and we have an early rhubarb here in Arlington, Texas. Gagne hit a sharp ground ball over third base. Tim Cheetah, the third base umpire, who had a good look at it, called it a foul ball. Rick Rennick, the third base coach, assuming it was fair, kept waving Gladden. He rounded third base. Gagne went to second, but it's all for naught, as the foul ball call will stand. And it'll be just a 1 ball and 1 strike count to Greg Gagne. So just a matter of inches, the Twins would have had a run there in the top of the first inning. Speaking of runs, Rob Deere just hit a home run from Milwaukee off Mike Flanagan, and the Brewers lead the Blue Jays 1-0 in the fourth in Toronto. Bill Wegman for Milwaukee tonight, and Baltimore's leading the Tigers 2-0 after 2.5 in Detroit. John Habian against Jack Morris. 1 ball and 1 strike. A throw to first base. Gladden dives back. Dimension-wise, here in Arlington, it's 330 down the lines, 380 in the power lanes, and 400 to center, and the fence is 11 feet high. Here's the set by Guzman. A throw to first base. Again, Gladden gets back. Guzman has a pretty good move for a right-handed pitcher. Gets rid of the ball quickly. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the set by Guzman. A throw to first. And John has been checking the umpire alignment, and we do have a change in the umpiring alignment. Well, we'll give it to you in just a moment. That's Larry Barnett at third base. Here's a high fly ball to center field, not very deep. Coming on is McDowell. The center fielder makes the catch in shallow center. No chance for Gladden to advance. Rocky Rowe, the ball and strike umpire. Greg Kosk is at first base. Cheetah at second, and Barnett is the umpire at third base. Barnett made that call on Greg Gagne, not Cheetah.
I think the one thing the Twins were really arguing about is that Barnett did not make a very good call. He did not make an emphatic foul ball call. He kind of indicated that the ball was down the line, but never really did throw his arms up in the air like he should to indicate a foul ball, and that's why Rick Rennick kept on waving Gladden on.
Well, not close a call you really want to make it emphatic. I saw him. It looked like he gave the foul ball signal, but as you said, he didn't get too animated about it. Here's the throw to first base. Now they're announcing the realignment of the umpiring. Rocky Rowe behind the plate with Greg Kost at first. Cheetah is at second, and Barnett at third base. Now Kirby Puckett swings at the fly ball. Right center field, medium deep. McDowell's drifting over under the ball and makes the catch. Ken Gladden has to stay at first. Puckett hitting .331. 28 homers and 98 runs batted in. Flies to center on the first pitch, and here's Herbeck batting .282. 34 homers and 88 runs batted in. Gladden aboard and 2 out. Top of the first inning here in Arlington. A very pleasant night for baseball. Pete O'Brien holding at first base with Gladden. The shortstop Fletcher moving well over towards second in the infield for the left-handed batting Herbeck up. Guzman takes too much time, and Herbie steps out of the batter's box. Here's the set by the right-hander, the pitch. And a fastball outside, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Jose Guzman, the second biggest winner on the staff. 14 wins, and there's a swing and a miss with a changeup, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lost his 12th game to the Twins last Wednesday when he pitched 7 in the 3rd innings. He's 2-1 lifetime against the Twins, and have beaten them once earlier this year. So he's 1-1 this year. Throws over to first base, and Gladden gets back. Guzman with an ERA of 4.6, 194 innings, 183 hits, 75 walks, 131 strikeouts, and a fastball outside. Ball 2 and strike 1 to Herbeck. Gino Petralli behind the plate puts down the sign for Guzman. Gladden gets the lead, draws another throw, and dives back. Texas, as we mentioned, having lost its last 6 ball games in a row. They lost 3 to the Twins at the Metrodome, then were swept in the 3-game series by the Mariners. Texas with 73 wins and 82 losses. Here's the pitch. And a sinking fastball low and outside. 3-1 out of Herbeck, so the Rangers cannot have a winning or even a 500 season now. Right now they're tied with Seattle for 4th place, 3.5 behind 3rd place Oakland. And the pitch. It's wide, ball 4, Herbeck walks. Guzman pitching Herbeck very carefully. He walks in to put runners on first and second and bring up Guidy. Batting .263 with 31 homers and 108 runs batted in.
That is it. Third baseman Gary Guidy.
So the Twins with a 2-out threat here in the 1st inning. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Gary Guidy batting at .263. He hit 9 of his last 10 games. He has equaled his RBI production of last year, 108, and he hit 34 home runs for the Twins last year, 31 this year. Outfield plays in deep to the left. Jose Guzman, the right-hander, taking a sign from Gino Petralli. There's the set and the pitch. Low and off the middle, Petralli rolls a few feet to the right. The runners hold up. 1 ball and no strikes to Gary Guidy. Jose Guzman started out the season as a starting pitcher. Was not effective early in the year. They put him in the bullpen for a while. And they used him 7 times as a reliever. This is his 29th start of the year and his 36th appearance. Has a half dozen complete games. There's the set by the right-hander and the pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on a high fly ball down the left field line. Incaviglia over near the line makes the catch. The ball was in play as Incaviglia caught it. So they tie the side. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. First half inning, the Twins nothing, the Rangers nothing.
This broadcast, presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins, with broadcast rights granted to WCCO Radio, may not be rebroadcast in any form without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins and WCCO Radio. Joe Niekro ready to face Jerry Brown, and here's Herb.
All right, John, the first pitch a little bit high to the switch-hitting second baseman, Jerry Brown, ball 1. He's hitting .271, left-handed .259, 16 doubles, 6 triples, 1 homer, 36 runs batted in. Niekro's pitch on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Number 8, Jerry Brown. Here's the pitch by Niekro. Knuckleball outside, 2-1. Niekro beat the Rangers September 22nd at the Dome, 6-4. He pitched 5 in the 3rd innings, allowed 4 runs, 6 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. And the pitch, swing and a foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scott Fletcher on deck, and then Ruben Sierra due up. Sal Butera behind the plate. His first start since he suffered a dislocated finger. Catching Necro. Here's the pitch. Swing and a drive foul down the left field line. Still 2-2. Gotti at third, Gagne at short, Lombardozzi at second, and Herbeck at first with Gladden, Puckett, and Bernanski in the outfield. Coaching for the Rangers, Tim Foley at third base and Art Howe at first. Here's the windup in the pitch. Knuckleball swung on, a bouncing ball to short, up with it Fletcher. Gagne to throw to first for the out to get Brown. Short to first to play. The Twins have announced actually a slightly upward revision of yesterday's attendance at the Metrodome. It was announced yesterday as 52,924. They have revised it now to 53,106. About 182 more than they announced yesterday. Here's Fletcher, the shortstop, right-handed batter. Takes too low, ball one. Fletcher hitting .287, 5 homers and 63 runs batted in. Pitch swung on, line drive in the center, a base hit. Scott Fletcher with a single. He had gone 0 for 17 on the Rangers 6-game road trip. Now he lines a single to center field. So the Twins' final attendance, the total for the season, 2,081,976. Ruben Sierra, number 21, the right fielder, switch hitter, batting .267, left-handed, .274, 29 homers, 104 RBIs. He was only 2 for 24 on the Texas road trip, and takes low and inside a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. He had 2 assists in the game yesterday against Seattle, and Sierra now leads American League outfielders with 17 assists for the year. No score in the game here in the bottom of the first inning. Fletcher on first base. Necro throws over there and he gets back. Fletcher has 11 steals. He's been caught 12 times. Lance Mullenix had tied the game with a homer in the last of the fourth against the Brewers, 1-1 after 4 as Necro throws to first. Now on the top of the fifth, a homer by Paul Molitor, his 16th. Nobody on. Number 16 for Molitor. The Brewers regain the lead 2-1. Necro delivers, and his knucklers low. 2-0 to Sierra. The Orioles leading the Tigers, and Jack Morris 2-0 at Tiger Stadium. Joe Necro has pitched 139 innings, allowed 143 hits, walked 59, fanned 81. ERA of 5.04. Here's the set in the pitch, and a fastball is low. Couldn't get that over. Now it's 3-0 to Sierra with O'Brien due next. Necro did not walk anyone when he pitched against the Rangers back on September 22nd. Necro, career-wise, 219 wins, 202 losses. As the sign from Butera, here's the pitch, and it is a strike. The grandstand umpire thought it might have been a little high. And 3-1 out of Sierra. Pete O'Brien waiting on deck. Set. And he steps off. Herbeck holding at first base with Scott Fletcher. 1 man out. Last of the first inning. Gotti wide of the line at third base. There goes Fletcher. Pitch is swung on. Hit in here to left center field. Here comes Gladden running in, and the ball's going to drop. A base hit. A little Texas League single. Up towards left center field. It dropped in front of Gladden. Gagne couldn't get to it. And Sierra. Only his third hit in his last 25 at bats. But now the Rangers have something going. Runners on first and second. And Pete O'Brien batting .290, 22 homers and 85 runs batted in. Pete O'Brien with Larry Parrish on deck. No score, last half of the first inning. Twins looking for a double play ball right now with the outfield shaded towards right. The set by Niekro. Here's the pitch. And it's low. Bounces out in front of the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to O'Brien. At Kansas City, Seattle did not score in the first inning off Gubaza. Lefty Lee Goodman pitching for the Mariners. Mets lead the Phillies 1-0 in the 5th at Philadelphia. Niekro to the set. Here's the pitch. Knuckleball beaten foul off to the right of the plate. A 1-1 count now to O'Brien. Joe Niekro had a no decision June 27th against the Texas Rangers. It's 3 2/3 innings of that game is the first half of a doubleheader. Here's the set and the pitch by Joe. And a knuckleball swung on, beaten down the first base line, but it goes foul about a third of the way down. And O'Brien will come back now with a count of a ball and 2 strikes. One-out singles here by Fletcher and Sierra to put runners on first and second for the Rangers. No score in the last half of the first. Joe Niekro's 26th appearance of the year, his 25th start. 1 complete game. Since he's been with the Twins, Joe is 4-8, 7-12 for the year. And the pitch low and inside, gets away from Gutierrez, rolls off to the right. Fletcher goes to third and Sierra to second. Wild pitch, charge to Niekro. Allowing the runners to advance. Taking off the forced play situation now, and the count of 2-2 to Pete O'Brien. Twins will keep the infield back here in the first inning. Guide's about even to the bag at third base, 20 feet off the line. There's the set by Niekro and the pitch. Knuckleball in the dirt. A good stop by Butera. Almost another wild pitch. And now it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Breeze blowing towards the outfield. Here's the set and the pitch by Niekro. And it's in the dirt again. He walked it. The Rangers have loaded the bases here in the first inning. Larry Parrish coming up. Parrish hitting .270, 31 homers, 97 runs batted in. Larry Parrish, who was 3 for 18 on the road trip. He and Ruben Sierra in the series at the Metrodome against the Twins collectively were 0 for 23. Parrish went 0 for 11. And the Twins are going to get Mike Smithson throwing in the bullpen now. Well, the bases loaded here, 1 out in the first inning, no score. Joe Niekro in a jam. Big Larry Parrish, number 15 at the plate. Twins looking for that double play ball again. The outfield deep and straight away. And the pitch by Niekro. Gets away from Gutierrez. Here comes Fletcher home. The other runners advance. Sierra to third, O'Brien to second, 1-0 Texas. Another wild pitch by Niekro. So Niekro uncorks his second wild pitch of the inning. And Texas takes a 1-0 lead. Dick Such walking out to the mound to talk to Niekro. Gutierrez also made some other good stops here in the first inning. As Niekro battling his control here in the early part of the ball game. Behind Parrish in the batting order, the Rangers have Pete Incaviglia. third now, and O'Brien on second. Here's the set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Harry shot a cut, but he missed it. 1-1 now. Joe Nicol with a deliberate pace here in the first inning of the ball game. Looking down to take the sign from Butera. The infield is backed up now with a forced play taken off. And the pitch by Joe. It's swung on by Parrish, a fly ball to left field. It's fairly deep. Sierra tags up. Here he comes home. Gladden throws the ball home, but it is not nearly in time, and the Rangers lead 2-0. O'Brien stays at second. Parrish with a fly to left. The sacrifice fly is 98th RBI of the season, scoring Sierra. 2-0 Texas now with O'Brien at second, 2 out, and Incaviglia, number 29, coming up. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Twins Radio Network.
58 degrees under partly cloudy skies at 8 o'clock. You're listening to the Twins on KGFX Pier.
Incaviglia at the plate, and the knuckleball gets the inside corner. Incaviglia batting .273, 27 homers, and 77 runs batted in. Incaviglia started yesterday's game in Seattle. He had missed 14 out of 17 games because of a strained ligament above his left ankle. Swings hit the fly ball, left center field, not too deep. Puckett having to dig in for this ball, and he trapped the ball. He trapped it, and the run, O'Brien will score 3-0. Puckett playing deep for Incaviglia. He hit a fly ball to not too deep. Left center, Kirby raced in. Caught the ball, but only after it had just hit the ground. With 2 out, of course, the runner O'Brien could run at the crack of the bat. He scores easily. Incaviglia is credited with a single, his 79th RBI, and it's a 3-run inning for Texas. Now, Odabe McDowell. Batting .242, 14 homers, 52 RBIs. He has hit 6 homers against the Twins this year. Had a good road trip. He was 9 for 17. Left-handed batter bounces at the Herbeck. He'll make the play himself. McDowell is out to retire the side, but a big inning for the Rangers. 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors. 2 wild pitches and 1 left. First inning, the Rangers 3 and the Twins nothing.
Well, the Toronto Blue Jays make a pitching change in the 5th inning. Dwayne Ward is on. Milwaukee leads that game 2-1. Red Sox are way out in front of the Yankees, 7-0 at the end of 4. Steve Trout starting the 5th for the Yankees. And the Mets in a big game with the Phillies lead 1-0 after 4.5. The Houston Astros lead the Dodgers 2-1 after 1 inning of play. All right, Herb.
Here's a strike to Randy Bush, batting .260. Randy with 10 homers, 44 runs batted in. He's the designated hitter tonight. Guzman delivers. Low, a ball, 1-1. Tom Bernansky on deck, and then Steve Lombardozzi due up. Rocky Roll looking at the baseball. Baltimore picks up another run at Tiger Stadium off Jack Morris. A single by Eddie Murray. Scores Pete Stanizak, and it's 3-0 Baltimore in the top of the 5th. Here's the windup by Jose Guzman, and the pitch. Swing and a line foul. High change up to Bush, and he lined it away foul. 1-2. And at Toronto now, a single by the Brewers. Dale Swaim has scored, my goodness, it says 3 runs here. Robin Yount, Greg Brock, and Rob Deere. Must have been a situation where they were all running. 3-run score on a single by Swaim. It's 5-1 Milwaukee over Toronto. Pitch is low to Randy Bush, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, so far it hasn't been a good start for the front runners.
It sure hasn't. Everybody's behind.
2-2 now to Randy Bush. Twins trailing here 3-0 in the top of the 2nd. Number 23, Guzman, takes the side from Petrelli. The outfield shading right on Randy. He steps out of the batter's box. Mariners Royals, no score after 1 in Kansas City. Here's the pitch by Guzman. Swing and a miss. Got him with a breaking ball, and Bush strikes out. One gone. First strikeout for Guzman. Here's Bernansky batting .263. Bruno with 31 home runs, 84 runs batted in. Guzman winding and delivers. Fastball swung on, popped up. Right side of the infield. Jerry Brown, the second baseman at the rim of the outfield grass, he makes the catch. Now there are two away, and we'll bring up Lombardozzi. Batting .235, 7 homers and 34 runs batted in. I wish a happy birthday to two of the original Twins in the front office, Billy and Jimmy Robertson. Billy and Jimmy Robertson celebrating their birthdays today, and we understand they're having a nice family outing. Here's a windup by Jose Guzman, the pitch. And it is outside, a breaking ball, ball one. Steve Lombardozzi batting .235, 7 homers, 34 runs batted in. Lombo batting eighth, Gutierrez ninth. 3-0 Texas, top of the second. Guzman winds up and delivers. Fastball swung on and a high foul in the first base seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quite a number of Twins rooters here at Arlington Stadium tonight. The family of Francis White is here. Francis White, who lives in Mason City, Iowa. Family wanted her to know that they're here rooting for the Twins, says Jose Guzman. Takes the windup. Here's the pitch. Curve just outside. Ball 2 and strike 1. Twins had 2 on in the first inning. Leadoff single by Gladden. A 2-out walk to Herbeck, but Guidy flies to left to retire the side. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Fastball swung on. Fly ball. Right center field. Not deep. Here comes the right fielder, Sierra, to make the catch, and the side is out. Lombardozzi flies to right. 3 up and 3 down. Inning and a half, the Rangers 3 and the Twins nothing.
This is where you hear Minnesota Twins baseball. 1060 KGFX.
Two updates from Kansas City. Number 1, Seattle out on top 1-0. Single by Donnell Nixon scored Domingo Ramos. 1-0. Seattle leading in the top of the second. In the bottom of the first inning, Kansas City's Kevin Seitzer singled in the first, giving him 200 hits in the season. Seitzer becomes the 9th rookie in American League history and the first since the Twins' Tony Oliva in 1964 to get 200 or more hits in his rookie season. Seattle leading 1-0 over Kansas City, and they're batting in the second inning. Herb?
All right, there's Gino Petralli, the catcher, taking inside a ball. Petralli hitting .293, left-handed, .302. 5 homers, 29 runs batted in. There's a windup by Necro in the pitch. A little bit high for a ball. 2-0 now to Petralli with Tom O'Malley, another left-handed batter on deck, and then switch hitting Jerry Brown due up. Number 12, Gino Petralli, and Necro's pitch. Fastball in for a strike, 2-1. Joe had a little difficulty harnessing his knuckleball and his control in the first inning. Just walked one batter, but he had 2 wild pitches, and now he delivers. And there's a swing and a little bloop over third base down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Drops in there for a base hit. Going to second base, Petralli. Gladden throw. He is out. Petralli, who blooped the single down the left field line, out trying to stretch it into a double on Gladden. Throw to Steve Lombardozzi. 7-4 on the put out, a single for Petralli. Here's O'Malley, the third baseman, number 41. Tom O'Malley hitting .252, 1 homer, 9 runs batted in. 3-0 Texas leading last half of the second. Necro's pitch. Fastball swung on, line drive into left center field. Left in there for a hit. Played in deep left center by Gladden. And here goes O'Malley to second, the slide, and he is out. How about that? Twice in a row, Dan Gladden throws out a Ranger trying to stretch a single into a double. This time O'Malley hit a drive to left center. Good hustle by Dan as he got the ball, threw it to second, and Lombardozzi got the tag on O'Malley. 2 singles and 2 putouts at second base.
Two very good throws by Dan Gladden, both on target, and you have to question the base running ability or chances by both Petralli and O'Malley. They were not really doubles from the standpoint of extra base hits. They were just taking gambling base running moves, and both of them paid for it by being out at second base.
A little bit over aggressive there, and Jerry Brown takes the pitch low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. You see the Twins work on that play in spring training?
All pays off, right, Herb?
Here's the pitch. Jerry Brown takes high and outside. Ball 2-0. It's like that stop Gotti made the other night. He said that's one you aren't able to practice too much.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the windup by Joe Niekro on the pitch. Fastball is fouled away.
Yeah, Herb and fans, I still say when it's all said and done, when the Twins clinch the Western Division pennant, the defense that the Twins have played all this season is probably as valuable as the great offense they've had from Puckett and Gaetti and Herbeck and the good pitching they've had from Viola and Blyleven and Rudin and the others.
All right, here's the pitch, and a swing and a ground ball. There's a base hit into left field. I don't think Brown's going to catch this one. He's satisfied with a single. That's that old trivia question. You know, you can get 6 hits in an inning and not score. The Rangers are halfway there. But the next 2 batters got singles to load the bases, and the next man got a hit a ball that hit a base runner. He would get a hit, but the side would be out.
That's right.
I remember in the year the Twins won the pennant, 1965, Mudcat Grant pitched a 13-hit shutout one day. Joe Niekro won't get a shutout, but he's isn't careful. He's going to give up 13 hits before too long. The pitch is outside a ball. Jerry Brown has 26 stolen bases in 43 attempts. 3 singles here, but there are 2 out and a runner at first and no runs in for the Rangers. They lead 3-0. Ken Herbeck holding at first with Jerry Brown. Well, the first safe. In Boston's big 5-run inning against the Yankees, Mike Greenwell had a 2-run double, and then rookie Jody Reed had a bases-loaded triple for the Red Sox. Niekro from the set looks to first base and delivers, and a swing fly ball center field should be handled by Kirby Puckett. He's under it, and he makes the catch. No runs, 3 hits, 1 left, 2 innings. The Rangers lead the Twins 3-0.
Well, good news from Kansas City. A sacrifice fly by John Moses scored Harold Reynolds, and Seattle is out on top 2-0 after an inning and a half of play. Keep in mind now, no matter what happens here, if the Kansas City Royals lose tonight to Seattle, the Twins win the American League Western Division pennant. The Mets and the Phillies 1-0 the Mets at the end of 5.5. The Mets trail St. Louis by 2.5 games. Going into play tonight, the Cardinals and the Expos are idle. Herb?
All right, John, there's a high fastball to Sal Butera. Sal hitting 184, 1 homer, 12 runs batted in. Gladden on deck, Gagne to follow. Jose Guzman lines and delivers. A fastball swung on, a little roller down the third baseline, picked up by Guzman, and the throw is in time. 1-3 the play to get Butera. Now Gladden, who singled the center in the first inning. Nothing, Texas. First half of the third inning. Gladden now with 7 hits in his last 15 at-bats. He has hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games. Greg Gagne on deck. And the pitch. There's a fastball strike. 0-1 to Gladden. Guzman has the sign from Gino Petralli. Here's the windup and the pitch. Sinker in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Quite a few fans at the airport to see the Twins off last night. Among them were Mike Rose of West St. Paul and also Bill Stevens from Delano and Dave Olson from Moorhead, Minnesota. Bill and Dave, both students at the University of Minnesota. Here's the 1-1 delivery. And a strike on the outside corner started the swing. Rocky Rowe called it on him, and it's 1-2 now to Gladden. Gagne waiting on deck here with one out. Guzman has retired the last 5 batters since he walked Herbeck with 2 out in the first inning. Guzman 14 wins, 12 losses. And the pitch. Swing, another foul behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Guzman wants another baseball. Another game tomorrow night and the final game of the year between the two clubs here on Wednesday night. Tomorrow night, Frank Fowler scheduled to go against Charlie Huff. It could change if the Twins clinch it tonight, clinch the West. Les Straker did the pitch against Bobby Witt on Wednesday. There's a fastball outside. 2-2 now to Dan Gladden with 1 out and nobody on. Here's the windup by Guzman and the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, broken bat roll at the short. Fletcher up with it, throws to first for the out. Close play. Gladden hustling all the way, but out on a close play as he broke the bat, rolls it out to shortstop to Scott Fletcher. 2 down, and now Gagne, who fly to center in the first inning. Another Twins fan, Fairmont, Minnesota's Troy Bodine. Troy Bodine of Fairmont wishing the Twins well for the rest of the way. Two gone and nobody on as Jose Guzman, who was given up only 1 hit in the first 2 2/3, winds up. Here's the pitch. Sinking fastball swung on, lined into left field for a base hit. Incaviglia plays it on the bounce, and Gagne will hold at first base. Solid single to left for Gagne. Now Kirby Puckett, who fly to center in the first inning. Also, we have a gentleman in the area now. Herb Hofer. Herb Hofer, who is at the present time the assistant basketball coach at East Texas State, located in Commerce, Texas. Moved here from the Dakotas. His wife Janet, sons Brooks and Gavin. A lot of family and friends back in Freeman, South Dakota, and Cheyenne, North Dakota. Herb Hofer. And the pitch is low to Kirby Puckett, ball 1. 1-0 to Kirby Puckett with Gagne on first base and 2 out, and the Twins trailing here 3-0 in the top of the 3rd inning. Gagne gets his lead at first base. Pete O'Brien holding with him. Here's the set by Guzman and the pitch. Breaking ball outside. And it's 2-0 to Kirby Puckett. Jose Guzman, he's 9-7 here at Arlington and 5-5 on the road. Tossed to first base. He has a lower ERA on the road, though, than he does at home. Takes a sign now from Gino Petralli as Gagne gets his lead. The outfield playing straight away for Kirby Puckett. And the 2-0 delivery. Fastball is swung on, chopped toward third, foul ball. Fielded in foul territory by O'Malley. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Kirby Puckett. Rangers have drawn pretty well this year. They have drawn 1,677,000. And 7 more games left here at home, including this one. As Guzman goes to the set. Here's the pitch. A high fastball swung on and fouled off. 2-2 now to Puckett. Jose Guzman is just 24 years old, native of Puerto Rico, 6'3", 185-pounder. Here's the set by the right-hander, the pitch. Breaking ball struck him out. Kirby down on strikes. Number 2 for Guzman. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, 2.5. Rangers 3, the Twins nothing.
On either the $15 or $20 categories. Herb?
There's a swing by Ruben Sierra. Ball bounces away from Viterra. Sierra, who looped a single to left field in the first inning. He'll be followed here by Pete O'Brien and then Larry Parrish. Texas hitting 266 as a team. That's 3 points higher than the Twins. Twins have hit 193 homers, 8 more than the Rangers. Here's the pitch by Niekro. And a knuckleball popped up. Left to the mound. Guidey coming over. Gary Guidey makes the catch. Sierra pops to third, 1 away, and will bring up O'Brien, who walked in the first inning.
First baseman, Pete O'Brien.
Joe Niekro, whose older brother Phil, had his final farewell pitching for the Atlanta Braves yesterday. Had no decision after pitching 3 shutout innings. He came out in the 4th. And the pitch is blown inside a ball. Giants coming up with 6 runs in that 4th inning to go ahead, 6-5 yesterday. Phil was charged with the first 5. Here's the pitch by Joe Niekro, and a swing, not a good swing by O'Brien at that low knuckleball, 1-1. Joe Niekro, who won 21 games for Houston in 1979, he was 21-11. The next year he was 20-12. 219 career wins. The Reds are leading Atlanta 6-5 in the 8th inning at Riverfront tonight. And the pitch. Knuckleball is popped up foul over on the third base side, and that one is going to be out of play. 1-2 to Pete O'Brien. Astros leading the Dodgers 3-1. Last of the third at the Astrodome. Chicago White Sox continuing to play great baseball. They swept that 4-game series in Oakland. Dave LaPointe with a 2-hitter yesterday. Terry Steinbach and Matt Gallego had the only hits off LaPointe. Ivan Calderon hit 2 homers. And Niekro delivers. A swing and a miss. O'Brien down on strikes. The ball is dropped by Viterra. Throws it to Herbeck, who will get the putout. 2-3 putout. And the first strikeout for Joe Niekro. 2 out here in the 3rd. Rangers ahead 3-0. Larry Parrish fly ball to left to score 1 in the first inning. The Chicago White Sox, who have been buried in the cellar in the West all season long, conceivably could finish as high as 4th place now in the West. They're only a game and a half behind Seattle and Texas, tied for 4th. But Parrish fouls the first pitch back for 1 strike. The White Sox are a game behind California. Texas tied with Seattle for 4th. They are 3.5 behind 3rd place Oakland. 4.5 behind Kansas City. Now the windup by Joe Niekro. Here's the pitch. Then a swing and a bouncing ball. 2-hopper hit to Gagne. He throws the ball to Herbeck, and they got him at first to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 innings. 3 innings. Texas 3, the Twins nothing. Leading Kansas City 2-0 in the 3rd at Kansas City. Right here, the Rangers lead the Twins 3-0 as we go to the 4th inning, and over to John Gordon.
All right, here's Ken Herbeck to lead it off. Herbeck in his first at bat drew a walk. He hits one high and deep to left, way back at the wall in Cavilla. He can't get it. He falls down as he leaps up. Here's center fielder McDowell playing the ball, relaying it in, and Herbeck's at second base with a leadoff double on the very first pitch. Double number 18 on the year for Herbeck. The Twins have their 3rd hit of the game. And with a runner at second, second base, nobody out. Gary Gaetti stepping in. 10 seconds for station identification all along the Twins Baseball Network.
Partly cloudy skies and 57 degrees at 8:33. You're listening to the Twins on KGFX Pier.
54 in the one. 3.05 ERA.
All right, here's Gaetti as the Twins trying to come back from a 3-0 deficit. They have her back at second base, nobody out, and Gaetti takes a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. 3 runs, 6 hits, Rangers. No runs, 3 hits, Twins. There are no errors in the game. Seattle leading Kansas City 2-0 as they bat in the top half of the 3rd inning. Twins win or a Royals loss, and the Twins are the champs. Here's the ground ball to short. Herbeck holds. Fletcher's up and throws to O'Brien to retire Gaetti. 1 down. Randy Bush stepping in. Twins had a late-night flight last night. After the game yesterday, they had an opportunity to rest a bit until a 10 o'clock charter out of the Twin Cities into Dallas. Twins arriving at the hotel here, which is right next to the ballpark, right around 1 o'clock. Here's Guzman as he was ready to work to Randy Bush, and Randy steps out. Here's the set by Guzman and the pitch to Randy. It's outside a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Randy Bush in his first at bat struck out swinging. He is 0 for 1. Guzman, a big guy, he's 6'3", 185, delivers to Bush. A swing and a miss and a healthy cut by Randy. Got some score updates, Herb?
Just to note here that Rob Murphy of Cincinnati appears in his 83rd game tonight, ties the record for appearances by a left-hander. Padres' Craig Lefferts was in 83 games last year.
And the pitch to Randy, swing and a miss on a low sinker. Boy, he went after a pitch that was out of the strike zone. And 1-2. Now, the Reds lead that game 6-5, right?
Right.
And they have to win.
They scored all 6 in the 4th inning. Buddy Bell and Barry Larkin homered.
Of course, it may not do them any good to win. If San Francisco wins their game at San Diego tonight, the National League West is all over. Randy swings and fouls it out of play. Just chatting with some today, Herb. Can you ever remember when you went to the last week of play and not one divisional title was settled?
Not that many teams. Usually somebody has it wrapped up. They usually win maybe about 10 or 11 games. White Sox one year won by about, 18 games or something like that?
That was 1983, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then they lost in the playoffs to the Orioles. Here's a pitch to Randy. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Struck him out in a sinker, and that's all for Randy Bush. 2 down, and the double by Herbeck to lead off the inning. Right now, Herbeck is still at second base. 3 strikeouts for Jose Guzman. Right now, there are no divisional champs in baseball, and we're in the last week of play. That's exciting. I think that's great for the game. Here's the set now by the right-hander, the pitch to Bernansky. A little bit high, 1 ball and no strikes.
In that Tiger-Oriole game, Jack Morris has been charged with his 23rd wild pitch of the season in the American League record. The Orioles leading 3-0 after 6.
Morris, who is the winningest pitcher in the Tigers staff, trying for his 19th win tonight. He has not been that effective down the stretch for the Tigers. Foul to the right, not a play.
Jack was wild the last time he pitched against Toronto, lost that game 4-3.
Well, the Orioles, who are in 6th place in the American League East. Sometimes it's tough to beat those lower teams in the division. Clubs that aren't playing well, they're loose. Here's a pitch to Bernansky. It's a fastball high. At the end of 2.5 now, Seattle holding a 2-0 lead. The Royals batting in the bottom of the 3rd. If Kansas City loses, the Twins win the American League West. If the Twins win here tonight, they trail 3-0. They win the American League West. Magic number is 1. Any combination of a Twins win or a Royals loss in the final week of play, and the Twins are the champs. And the pitch. Just outside, 3-1 to Bernansky now. Well, the Mets leading 1-0. Candelaria started that game, and Rick Aguilera coming on in the 6th inning. That's at the end of 6.5 now. The Mets with a win would be just 2 games behind the Cardinals. St. Louis plays a doubleheader with Montreal tomorrow night. And then single games Wednesday and Thursday against the Expos. And the delivery outside, ball 4. Slider missed away, and Brunansky draws the walk to second, given up by Guzman. You have to think that doubleheader was a rain-out makeup. Why wouldn't they play tonight if both had the night off?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because pretty tough to play a doubleheader in the last week of the season. Whereas on your pitching staff, the Mets probably are happy with that. Expos have had success against the Cardinals this year. They're optimistic going into that series, trailing by 3 games. They sweep that series, they could possibly be in first place. Here's Lombardozzi, and he takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Following the St. Louis-Montreal series, the Cardinals host the Mets for 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as the National League East goes right down to the wire. Guzman working with 2 on and 2 away. Twins batting in the 4th and trailing 3-0. Here's Lombardozzi with a deep fly ball. Way back. Catch the ball, Steve Lombardozzi. Twins have tied the game at 3-3. Oh, Lombardozzi. Brings one to the seats and left. For Steve, it is his 8th homer of the year, and the Twins have tied it with 1 swing of the bat. 3-run homer.
Boy, it's been that kind of a year for the Twins. You hear a lot, and rightly so, about Puckett and Herbeck, Gotti and Brunansky, but I'll tell you, some other people like Steve Lombardozzi right there certainly made that contribution, too.
Well, Lombardozzi tying the game with a 3-run homer.
He got a fastball that looked like John and fans right down the pipe.
And it came up after that 2-out walk to Tom Brunansky. Twins now have 5 hits in the game. Pitch to Sal Butera, who's batting now, and is outside the ball. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike.
I remember that 9th inning homer Lombo hit at the Kingdome off Mark Langston after he had shut out the Twins for 8 innings. They came back to win that game.
Strike on a breaking pitch to Butera. That was followed by a Gaetti homer that actually won the game for the Twins, but Lombardozzi had hit the big home run to get the Twins on the board.
That was the 2-man on.
Butera check swings a breaking pitch that's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So the Twins gain life here in the 4th inning in a 3-run homer by Steve Lombardozzi and tie the game. And the pitch, a tie. Full count now to Butera. 3-2 delivery, strike 3, breaking pitch across. Butera looked at it. So Guzman gets his 4th strikeout, and the Twins rally for 3 runs. 2 hits, the big blow, the 3-run homer from Lombardozzi. Nobody laughed at the end of 3.5 innings of play. Twins 3 and the Rangers 3.
This is your Minnesota Twins station, 1060 KGFX.
Remember, Dayton stores will handle sales of the 15,000 American League Championship Series tickets still remaining after the recent mail sale. Tickets for games 1 and 2 will go on sale at each of the 7 metropolitan Dayton's outlets on Wednesday morning. Tickets will be sold in 2 game strips only, covering games 1 and 2, and they're priced at $15 or $20. John?
Here come the Rangers in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pete Incaviglia singled in a run in his first at bat and is 1 for 1. Takes a knuckleball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Incaviglia hit a fly ball into shallow center. Puckett, who plays Incaviglia and everybody else for that matter, quite deep in center field, raced in, but he just couldn't get to it in time, and it dropped in front of him. Kirby actually short-hopped the ball. That's how close he came to catching it. And a run scored to make it 3-0. Swing and a miss and a knuckleball, and it'll be a count of 1 and 2 to Pete Incaviglia. Twins have tied at 3-3 on a 3-run homer by Steve Lombardozzi in the top half of the 4th inning. Number 8 on the year for Lombardozzi. Herbeck had doubled. Then Gaetti and Bush went out. Brunansky walked, and then Lombo hit the homer. Foul to the right, not a play. What a pleasant night in Arlington, Texas. 79 degrees at the moment. Had some rain this morning, but showers moved through the area. We had plenty of sunshine, and it was quite warm this afternoon. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Pete Incaviglia, and the pitch is outside, 2-2. Paul Mirabella in the 7th inning for the Milwaukee Brewers. The Blue Jays have a run in. 1 on and 1 out, and they trail 5-2 in their game with the Milwaukee Brewers. Strike 3, a knuckleball and a half swing by Incaviglia. He's claiming he didn't go around on it, but Rocky Road says he did. Niekro gets a strikeout. It is his 2nd of the game. 1 out. Leadoff batter retired, and here's Odabe McDowell. They're going to the 8th at Philadelphia, and the Mets are leading 1-0 in that game. Blue Jays lead by 2.5 over the Tigers as the final week of play starts tonight. Odabe McDowell takes a knuckleball outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Niekro settling down. He's now retired the last 5 Ranger batters. Boy, what a big break he got in the 2nd inning. Here's a knuckleball, a tie, and 2-0 the count. Gino Petralli led off with a bloop single down the left field line. He tried to stretch it to a double, and Gladden threw to Lombardozzi, and he was out. So instead of a runner at first and nobody out, there was 1 down and nobody on. There's a strike. The knuckleball flutters in. 2 on the count. It'll be barking now to plate umpire Rocky Road. The pitch was up. Tom O'Malley followed with a solid line drive single to left center. He thought he had a chance for 2. Gladden threw him out at second base. And the pitch. High fly, right center field. Puckett and Brunansky both converging. It's going to be Puckett. He's got it. 2 down in the Ranger 4th. Here's Gino Petralli. Twins 3, Rangers 3. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Rangers got 3 in the first. A wild pitch scored 1. Sacrifice fly on another. And a looping single and a fly ball to shallow center field scored another. And the Twins got theirs back in a 3-run homer by Steve Lombardozzi, his 8th of the year. A knuckleball outside of Petralli, who had a hit and then was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double in his first at bat, and it is 1 ball, no strikes. Nuxie right back. Knuckleball swung on, drilled, and diving stop by Herbeck. Flips over to first, and Niekro missed the bag. Joe Niekro ran past first base and missed it, and Petralli's going to reach. I believe Niekro will be charged with an error in the play. Good diving stop by Herbeck. He went down to his chest to grab it. All right, it's an assist for Herbeck, and there's an error charged to Joe Niekro. And Petralli has reached safely. Niekro just ran past the bag. He went too far. He looked for first base, and he tried to tap it, but he couldn't get back to it in time, and Petralli has reached. First error of the game, and it's charged to Joe Niekro. And here is Tom O'Malley. Herbeck just kind of smothered that ball at first. Knuckleball for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Six hits for the Rangers. 4 for the Twins. 3-3 tie game. Niekro sets and delivers. Swing and a foul. Back behind home plate, and a 2-strike count now to Tom O'Malley. Frank Viola is scheduled to pitch for the Twins tomorrow night against Charlie Huff. A lot depends on the results not only here tonight, but also in Kansas City. If the Twins clinch the Western Division title, more than likely Viola will be arrested until he can pitch up to the start of the playoffs. Give him 1 more start. Might work Wednesday, might work Friday. American League playoffs start in the Western Division home on Wednesday, the 7th of October. Knuckleball almost got away from Butera. He knocked it down, and 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to O'Malley. 3-3 tie, Twins and the Rangers in the opening game of the three-game series. Wednesday night, Les Straker is scheduled to pitch for the Twins. Here's a pitch. O'Malley swings and langs a hit to center field. Stopping at second is Petrali. And the Rangers get something cooking here with runners at first and second and 2 down. Second hit for O'Malley in the game.
Second baseman, Jerry.
And the 7th for the Rangers. Bobby Witt, the right-hander, who one-hit the Twins here at Arlington Stadium in June, is the scheduled starter for the Rangers on Wednesday night. Necro pitched here at Arlington Stadium back in the late June series in the 27th. He lost that game 11-6. He pitched 3 2/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, but he walked 5. Had a couple of wild pitches, pass balls. He did not have his control that night. At the end of 7 now, Milwaukee leads Toronto 5-2. At the end of 3.5, Seattle is still leading Kansas City 2-0. Pickoff try, but Petrali is back in time at second base. And at the end of 7, Baltimore leading Detroit 3-0. The Reds hung on and beat Atlanta 6-5, so San Francisco still has to win in their game at San Diego to clinch the Western Division title in the National League. And the pitch is just wide to McDowell. It'll be a count of 1 ball and no strikes. Reds scored 6 in the 4th and beat the Braves 6-5. Here's the 1-0 delivery. It's in there for a strike. This is Jerry Brown batting, and it'll be a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jerry Brown, the batter, and 1-1 the count to him. At Detroit, Baltimore manager Cal Ripken ejected from the game in the 7th inning for arguing with home plate umpire Durwood Merrill. Brown takes a knuckleball high and 2-1 the count. The Orioles lead in that game 3-0. You know the Tigers are scoreboard watching, and they know that Toronto is losing. Here's the delivery, way high. 3-1 the count to Brown. Well, Necro really should have been out of this inning. Struck out Incaviglia. He got McDowell in a fly to center. Petrali hit the ball hard. Nice stop on a diving stop by Ken Herbeck at first base. Necro covering at first. He ran past the bag and missed it. He was charged with an error, allowing Petrali to reach. O'Malley followed with a single to center. Now 3-1 to Brown, and a pitch. Strike at the letters in 3-2. Twins and Rangers tied at 3. And the Rangers batting in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Twins about to clinch the Western Division. They need just a win here tonight or a Kansas City loss at Kansas City in their game with Seattle. And they're the champs. Here's a pitch. High fly, left center. Kirby Puckett chasing. He's got a beat on it. Running catch, and the inning is over. Brown flies deep to left center where Kirby Puckett makes the running grab. Rangers threaten to take the lead but fail to do so. No runs, a base hit in air, and 2 left. And now at the end of 4 innings of play, it's the Rangers 3 and the Twins 3.
You are listening to live Minnesota Twins baseball on 1060 KGFX.
In the 5th inning at Kansas City, the Mariners lead the Royals 2-0. The Brewers lead the Blue Jays 5-2 last of the 8th inning in Toronto, and the Orioles lead the Tigers 3-0 last of the 7th at Detroit. The National League last of the 8th at Philadelphia, the Mets leading 1-0. Aguilera leading Candelaria in the 6th for New York. John?
All right, Herb, here's Dan Gladden to lead things off for the Twins in the 5th in a 3-3 tie game. Gladden had a base hit back in the 1st inning. Grounded to short in the 3rd inning. Takes a strike, no balls and 1 strike. Jose Guzman, 14-12 this year. He was 9-15 last year. He's probably the Rangers' top pitcher right now. And they pitch outside. He and Charlie Huff tied for that top spot as the number one starter. Huff has won 17 games, but Guzman has really come into his own in the last 6 weeks. And the pitch. Capper to third, foul. Played by O'Malley, but in foul territory. 1-2. Herb just mentioned about the Dayton stores handling sales of 15,000 American League Championship Series tickets still remaining after the recent mail sale. Phone orders accepted at 375-2987. Outstate customers at Dayton use the Watts line. Gladden swings and misses. Strike three. Went after a low pitch, and it was picked out of the dirt by catcher Petrelli. He tagged Gladden, so Dan is out on the strike zone on a 2 unassisted play. And it is strikeout number 5 for Guzman. Here's Gagne who had a base hit back in the third inning. The Dayton Watts line, 1-800-992-2008. Tickets are available in the $15 or $20 category. And a pitch to Gagne, popped it up into shallow center. Out Fletcher in McDowell, and McDowell calling off Fletcher. He's got it. 2-away in the Twins' fifth. 3-3, tie game. Here's Kirby. Say, if you'd like further information regarding the American League Championship Series and tickets, call the Connection at 922-9000. 922-9000. Lombardozzi tied it with a 3-run homer in the fourth. The Rangers got 3 in the first. And the Twins, with a victory, clinched the Western Division Championship. Here's the line, and a pitch to Kirby Puckett. A smash to third, past O'Malley and into left. A base hit. Kirby is on with his 200th hit of the season. A bouncing single past third baseman O'Malley. And Kirby Puckett has his 200-hit season. And the Twins have the go-ahead run on at first base. Two years in a row, Puckett has had 200 or more hits. Last year, a career-high 223. And tonight, the base hit to left, his 200th hit of the year. Here's Herbeck, who doubled his last time up off the left field wall. He just missed a home run. And he came around to score on that homer by Lombardozzi. Takes a high fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Guzman 4-1 in September, and his loss was to the Twins last week. He had won 4 in a row. 6-2 in his last 8 decisions. Against the Twins, 1-1 this year. 2-1 lifetime. Guzman to Herbeck. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Gary Gaetti ready to hit next. 3 runs, 5 hits Twins. And 3 runs, 7 hits Rangers. 1 error in the game, charged to the Twins Necro. Guzman sets, checks the runner, and he pitches. Low and away, and 3-0. Guzman is not overpowering, but he has good location. He's walked 2 here tonight. In 193 innings pitched coming in, he'd walked only 75. Swing and a miss, and a healthy cut by Herbeck. Oh, he was going for the downs on that one. Fastball, and he got it by him. Seattle continues to hold a 2-0 lead over Kansas City, and they're in the top half of the 5th inning. And the pitch, just low, ball 4. Twins get Puckett into scoring position at second base, and a 2-out walk to Herbeck. The third of the game by Guzman. And here's Gary Gaetti, the Twins' leading RBI man with 108 RBIs. Bobby Valentine coming out to talk to Guzman, and while he does, we'll break and take 10 seconds for station identification all along the Minnesota Twins radio network.
Partly cloudy skies and 56 degrees at 9:01. You're listening to the Twins on KGFX Pier.
All right, Valentine with a brief conversation with his pitcher Guzman. Catcher Petrelli joining him. And now Gaetti, who is 0 for 2, stepping in. Twins with a chance to take the lead for the first time in the game. They trailed right from the outset, 3-0. But they tied it on a 3-run homer by Lombardozzi in the fourth. Here's the set by Guzman and the delivery. Swing and a foul off of Gaetti's body and out of play. Strike one. To the ninth at Toronto, Milwaukee batting and leading 5-2. To the bottom of the eighth at Detroit, and the Tigers batting and trailing 3-0. The Tigers and the Blue Jays separated by 2.5 in the American League East, with the Jays on top. The Tigers play 4 against Baltimore, including the game tonight. The Jays play 3 against Milwaukee. And then the two teams face each other starting Friday night. Final series of the regular season. Guzman ready, checks pocket at second, and here's a pitch to Gaetti. It's a fastball low and away. 1-1 the count. Exciting times for the Twins before the game. All the media blitz, television, radio, local and national. Here's the pitch to Gaetti, and a pitch gets away from Petrelli, and the runners move up. It's a low pitch. And on to third goes Kirby Puckett. To second goes Ken Herbeck on a wild pitch charged to Jose Guzman. Oh, a base hit here. And the Twins could possibly score 2. Puckett at third, Herbeck at second, and they count 2 balls and 1 strike to Gary Gaetti. Here's Guzman as he takes some time. He's ready, and he pitches low and away, and another good stop by Petrelli. He had to go to his knees to stop that one. 3-1 to Gary Gaetti. Oh, he's going to get his pitch here. First base is open, but Guzman doesn't want to walk the right-handed hitter Gaetti to face the left-handed hitting Randy Bush. Guzman has dug himself a hole here in the top half of the 5th inning. Puckett at third, Herbeck at second. 3-1 to Gaetti. And a pitch. Fastball low and away. Ball 4, and he walked him. So Guzman, who normally has good control, has now walked 4 in the game. 2 in this inning. The bases are loaded for Randy Bush, who has struck out twice in the game. Chance for Randy to deliver. Jeff Russell, a right-hander, begins to warm in the Texas bullpen. 3-3, tie game. Guzman will work from a set position. Checks the runners and pitches. A strike on the inside corner. And it's no balls and 1 strike to count to Randy Bush. Puckett at third, Herbeck at second, and Gaetti at first. Twins tied with the Rangers at 3-3. Guzman struck out Bush in the 2nd and 4th innings, swinging both times. 0-1 delivery, swing and a miss. Low breaking pitch. Randy went for 1 out of the strike zone. 2 strikes, and Guzman has worked ahead of Randy Bush. Ready, Guzman. He sets, and he delivers. Down low and in the dirt. Good stop by Petrelli. 1-2. Manager Tom Kelly had to give up his manager's quarters in the locker room tonight. They're using that for a special interview room in anticipation of the Twins clinching the Western Division tonight, or tomorrow night, or Wednesday night. All the TV, cameras, our radio loop, all set there. We'll be bringing you coverage of the Twins celebration if it happens tonight, right from the locker room. Live from the Twins locker room with the Twins win. Here's the 1-2 to Randy. Down low and 2 balls and 2 strikes. Through 4.5, Seattle's still leading Kansas City 2-0. So they've jumped ahead right now as far as the game is concerned. They've completed the top half of the 5th inning. Twins are still batting in the top of the 5th. And Seattle leads 2-0. Here's a 2-2 to Randy. Set and deliver. Strike 3. A fastball on the inside corner. Randy Bush looks at a called third strike. And Rocky Rowe rings him up, and the Twins threaten but fail to take the lead. 6 strikeouts for Guzman. What a big out there. 4 of the Twins, no runs. 1 hit, 3 left. At the end of 4.5, Twins 3, Rangers 3.
This is where you hear Minnesota Twins baseball. 1060 KGFX.
Now the Brewers leading the Jays 5-2. 9th inning at Tiger Stadium. Orioles 3, Detroit 0. John?
All right, the leadoff batter for the Rangers here in the bottom of the 5th, Scott Fletcher, takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Fletcher has a base hit. He scored a run, and he's flied to center. He is 1 for 2 in the game. 3 runs, 7 hits Rangers. 3 runs, 5 hits Twins. Tie game in the bottom of the 5th. Fletcher swings and loops one to left. Gagne out. Gladden in, and it drops in between them. Base hit for Fletcher, a leadoff single. Niekro gives up his 8th hit. Joe gave up 3 hits in the 2nd inning. And 2 of them were out trying to stretch those base hits into doubles. Fletcher has his 2nd hit. At Houston, a grand slam by Terry Poole in the 5th inning, scoring 3 in front of him. Houston leads the Dodgers 7-3. Sure, but I think all the division places are settled in the National League West. Of course, as soon as the Giants win a game, then they win the West. Cincinnati's going to finish 2nd, Houston 3rd, the Dodgers 4th, Atlanta 5th, and San Diego 6th. Atlanta could catch Los Angeles. They're only a game and a half behind them in the final week of play. There's a battle developing for the 4th spot in the American League West. Seattle and Texas are tied 10.5 behind the Twins. California's only a half a game back. Pitches low to the left-handed swinging Ruben Sierra. He's a switch hitter, and he goes from the left side against the right-hander Niekro. And it'll be 1 ball and no strikes to count. 1 on, a leadoff single by Fletcher, and Sierra batting with a count of 1-0. Sierra still with 29 homers. And a pitch down low, and 2-0 the count. The White Sox are just a game and a half out of 4th. They're 12 behind the Twins and only 1.5 behind Seattle and Texas. It appears that the Twins will finish 1st, Kansas City 2nd, and Oakland 3rd. Oakland could, of course, catch and pass Kansas City. They're only a game behind them. Cut and a miss as Sierra had a big ripple at that one. 2-1 the count. Niekro facing Sierra. Fletcher at first. He's got a good lead. He looks like he wants to run. And Niekro steps off to get him back to the bag. Go to first, and Fletcher back in time. Well, the Brewers have added to their lead. A single by Greg Brock scored Robin Yount. Milwaukee has a 4-run lead in the top of the 9th, 6-2. Look out for those Blue Jays in the bottom of the 9th, though. Here's the pitch, line drive, and it's caught by Herbeck, and Kent went to his knees to grab it. After he caught the ball, he pounded first for the double play. Fletcher caught off the bag, and there's 2 down in the inning. Oh, that was a wicked line drive by Sierra. He hit a shot to Herbeck, and Kent made a great play. 2nd good play by Herbeck. Made an earlier good play on a ground ball off the bat of Petrelli. When Herbeck caught the ball, it almost spun him around, and he pounded the first base bag a couple of times to make sure that the double play was in effect, getting Scott Fletcher. It's a 3 unassisted line-out double play. And here is O'Brien with a bouncer to 2nd. Lombardozzi's got it over to first to retire O'Brien, and the inning is over. So Niekro holds him in the 5th. As the Rangers go out, no runs, a hit, nobody left. The double play ball helping. The Twins turning their 144th double play of the year. And now, at the end of 5 innings of play, the Twins and the Rangers are tied at 3. It was
at Lake Placid in 1980 when a dream unfolded right before our nation's eyes. A young, inexperienced U.S. Olympic hockey team beats the favored Russian. Tom Bernansky leading off the Twin Six takes the ball outside from Jose Guzman. Bruno has popped to second. He's had a base on ball. And the pitch by Guzman is a breaking ball in for a strike. Twins 3 runs, 5 hits. 1 error. The Rangers 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Bernansky, Lombardozzi, and Butera here in the 6th inning. Guzman working out of a big jam last inning, striking out Randy Bush with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. High and wide, 2-1. Jose Guzman with 14 wins. He's the second biggest winner on the staff. Charlie Huff, who probably will pitch tomorrow night, has won 17. Rangers scored 3 in the first. Lombardozzi's 3-run homer tied it for the Twins in the 4th. And the windup by Guzman. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner to knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Looked like a high fastball that Lombardozzi hit for his home run. One of the few mistakes that Guzman has made tonight. And he did a nice job of pitching after Randy Bush took a couple of pitches for balls, falling behind 0-2, and then getting even and eventually striking out.
Now the windup by Guzman. Here's the pitch. And a slider's fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think generally with Guzman's type of stuff, he is most effective if he keeps the ball down.
I think Randy Bush was looking for something a little bit lower than the pitch that he got when he was called out on strikes.
Now the 2-2. Breaking ball. About head high there to Bernansky. Ducks away from it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Tom Bernansky. Then the last of the ninth at Tiger Stadium. Baltimore behind John Habian, leading the Tigers 3-0.
What an emotional series, Herb, for the Tigers and the Toronto Blue Jays over the weekend. I got to see a couple of those games. And they were excellent. I saw Friday and Saturday and worked the Saturday game on the network. And that was a draining game for me.
But what, 4 hours plus?
What an exciting game, and the fans really got into it. And of course, Toronto came back to win that one 10-9. But certainly a big victory yesterday for Detroit to come back to win, cutting the lead to 2.5 games.
Just about a must-win for Detroit. And Bernansky swings at the high fly ball, a shallow left center field. Incavilla, the left fielder, coming in to make the catch. 1 down in the top of the 6th inning on a fly to the left fielder. Off the bat of Tom Bernansky. Now here's Lombardozzi, who flies to Sierra, the right fielder, in the 2nd inning. Down on a 1-strike fastball from Guzman in the 4th inning. With 2 on and 2 out, Lombardozzi hit it from the left field seat. His 8th home run of the year. He now has 37 RBIs. 1 gone and nobody on in the top of the 6th for the Twins. And a strike called on the outside corner. 0-1. Now Butera on deck. Guzman looking for the sign from the trolley. Here's the right-hander's pitch. Breaking ball swung on and wrapped foul outside of third base. And Guzman quickly gets ahead of Lombardozzi here. No balls and 2 strikes. Tied at 3 in the top of the 6th. In the 6th at Kansas City, 2-0 Seattle over the Royals.
San Francisco didn't score in the top of the 1st at San Diego. Giants magic number 1.
And the breaking ball is low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. John Franco picked up his 30th save in a Reds win over Atlanta.
Don't think the Dodgers would like to have him back, huh, Herb?
They need a little help over there, don't they?
They really do. They've had so much trouble with their bullpen and certainly a lot of other areas this year as the Dodgers started today 69 and 86.
Here's the windup by Guzman and the pitch. Swing. Unless he got him with a breaking ball. And Jose Guzman with his 7th strikeout. It'll bring up Gutierrez, who is tapped out to the pitcher, and he was called out on strikes in the 4th inning.
Hey, how about the National League East race? New York is leading 1-0 9th inning over Philadelphia. St. Louis started the night with a 2.5-game lead over New York, 3 over Montreal. The Cardinals have 4 games with Montreal, starting with a doubleheader tomorrow night, and then 3 against the Mets over the weekend.
And the pitch by Guzman to Gutierrez swung on a line drive to the third baseman, Tom O'Malley. Gutierrez with a rocket to the third baseman, and that's the 3rd out. 1, 2, 3 inning. 5.5 now. The Twins 3, the Rangers 3.
At TMA.
Well, my evening is complete now at Arlington Stadium because they've had the dot race up on the scoreboard to help complement baseball here. 3-3 score, the Twins and the Rangers. Magic number 1 for the Twins. Meanwhile, at Kansas City, Seattle has a 3-0 lead over the Royals in the top of the 6th inning. A base hit by Domingo Ramos scored Dave Valley with Seattle's 3rd run, Herb.
All right, and here's Larry Parrish leading off for Texas. He takes the first pitch low for the ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Herb, back in the spring, you said you'd be very disappointed if this team did not do well. In fact, you said that you'd be disappointed if the team didn't win it.
I did, indeed. I felt this was the Twins' year. There's a knuckler outside. 2 balls and no strikes. You know, you get that feeling once in a while that things are going to come together. And with the addition of Jeff Reardon, feel that people like Guidy and Herbeck, Bernansky, and Puckett, they're kind of hungry. They're out to prove something. There's a swing and a miss by Parrish, 2-1.
I'll tell you somebody who's out to prove something after that rocky first inning with his trouble with controls. Joe Niekro. He's come back nicely.
He really has. Thanks to a little bit of over-aggressiveness by the Rangers in the 2nd inning. Twice in a row, they had runners thrown out trying to stretch singles into doubles. Dan Gladden gunned them down. And Parrish takes low for the ball, 3-1.
It was funny. It sounded like a game show audience when Jerry Brown got his hit to left. Stay at first base. Stay. Don't go.
Saying before he came over here, they might have a 6th inning without scoring.
It's possible.
There's a swing and a miss by Parrish. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Parrish drove in a run with a fly ball to left in the 1st inning. And he bounced out to Gagne in the 3rd. Outfield playing in a shade to the left end deep. The lineup by Niekro on the pitch. And it is too high, and Parrish gets a walk. So that's the 2nd walk. Given up by Joe. He had walked O'Brien in the 1st inning. And now Pete Incaviglia. Single to left center in the 1st inning. The drive in a run, his 79th, and he was called out on strikes on a check swing in the 4th inning, actually. Number 29, Pete Incaviglia. Hampered by those torn ligaments above the left ankle. He missed 14 of the last 17 games until yesterday. 30 home runs as a rookie last year for Texas, 27 this year. And now Texas with a go-ahead run on at first base. Larry Parrish, nobody out. Niekro delivers. Knuckleball low and outside. Ball 1 to Incaviglia. Left-handed batting, Oddibe McDowell is on deck. And the Twins have Juan Berenguer throwing in the bullpen. The pitch. And the knuckler way inside. Ball 2 and no strikes. The Rangers, who lost all 6 games on their road trip, 3 of the Twins and 3 to the Mariners in Seattle. They still realistically have a chance to finish 3rd. 3.5 games behind Oakland. They are tied with Seattle right now for 4th place.
Oh, what happened to Oakland after sweeping Kansas City?
That pitch is high for a ball, and it's 3-0. Oakland is now 2 under 500 for the year. And Joe Niekro now having those control problems again. 3 balls and no strikes. The count to Incaviglia with Parrish aboard and nobody out. Art Howe coaching at first base. Tim Foley at third. Here's Joe to the set, the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball to Guidey. To Lombardozzi. 1 to Herbeck. Double play. Incaviglia swinging away on a 3-0 pitch. Ground ball, double play. Gary Guidey, that's number 145 for the Twins.
That'll take care of control problems, Herb. It was hit hard enough, and Guidey's throw was right on the money. Lombardozzi had an easy time of it, completing the pivot and getting the double play.
2 down, nobody on. And again, nothing like that double play that changed the complexion of an inning.
Happened in the 5th inning on the line drive by Sierra, right to Herbeck, who, while on his hands and knees, made the catch and then tagged the bag to retire Fletcher, who straight away.
So with 2 double plays plus those 2 base running mistakes in the 2nd inning, Texas had lost 4 base runners in this game. McDowell is bounced to first. He's flied to center. Swings at a knuckler, fouls it back. 1 strike to McDowell, and Niekro, looking over the baseball, decides he'll keep that one. 1 strike to Odin McDowell. We're tied at 3 here in the last half of the 6th inning at Arlington Stadium.
Mark Clare is on to work the 9th inning now for the Milwaukee Brewers with lead Toronto 6-2.
Folks here from Laverne, Minnesota, Sean, Kelly, and Lisa. Now the windup by Niekro. Here's the pitch. Knuckleball bunted down the third baseline, goes foul. Strike 2 to McDowell, bunting with 2 out, and now he has a 2-strike count. McDowell's the number 7 hitter, but Charlie on deck. Wayne and Evelyn McKean from Booking, South Dakota here. Excuse me, John.
Excuse me, Herb. Big victory for the Mets tonight. It's final now. New York 1, Philadelphia nothing. And Davey Johnson's club is not giving up.
Boy, I tell you, the Cardinals have their work cut out for them, don't they, this week?
They sure do. Montreal and New York coming in. The Mets are 2 out. And Montreal is trailing by 3 now.
Here's the windup by Niekro, and the pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Candelaria got the win. He's 2-0 with the Mets.
He's really become like a 5 or 6 inning pitcher, hasn't he?
Sure has. After that, forget it.
There's a bouncing foul by McDowell. 1-2. Joining Baron Guerin, the Twins bullpen now, lefty Dan Schatz hitter. 2 out, nobody on. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yes, it could be quite a realignment in those first 3 positions in the National League East by the end of the week.
I've heard some say the Cardinals and Mets could knock each other off. Montreal could get in. Depends on what Montreal does with St. Louis now in the next 3 days.
Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball down to Herbeck. He's got it. He'll make the play himself, unassisted to retire McDowell. That's all for Texas. Nothing across. 6 innings. Twins 3 and the Rangers 3.
For you, this buzz for you. Last night I saw this lady. She looked like a devil in baby. I thought that just maybe I could make her my baby. So I said, Miss, how do you do? You really make it work. This buzz for you. Here's to you. Beechwood eggs for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. That bud sure started something. Her smile sent my heart thumping. She's some kind of lady, that definitely maybe. She said, I've noticed you too. You really make it work. This bud's for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. This bud's for you.
Hi, it's Roger Miller for CarQuest Auto Parts Stores. Now, don't take my word for it that CarQuest is the best place for auto parts. Just watch how many auto mechanics get their parts at CarQuest. The place for the right parts, the right prices. Quality parts with great guarantees. Like Wagner's limited lifetime warranty. You'll never have to pay for replacement brakes, shoes, or pads again. Wagner disc brake pads, drum brake shoes, and brake parts provide premium quality and long-lasting performance. Buy your parts for the pros buy theirs. CarQuest.
You are listening to live Minnesota Twins baseball on 1060 KGFX.
Baltimore beats Detroit 3-0. Combined 5-hitter for John Havey in the winner, 6-6. Miedenfuhrer in the ninth, he got his 12th save. And Morris, the loser, 18-11. 3-0 Baltimore, but Toronto is also losing to Milwaukee 6-2 in the last of the ninth inning in Toronto at Exhibition Stadium. Now we go to the seventh. Score tied at 3 here. The Twins and Rangers. More play-by-play, and we go to John Rooney.
Thank you, Herb. Leading off, it's Dan Gladden. Gladden is 1 out of 3. Got a base hit to lead off the game. Tries to bunt. Pulled back in time to take a ball. He had a notion of dropping it down the third base line with O'Malley playing a step behind the bag. I was able to pull the bat back in time for the 1-0 count. Playing way back in left field, Pete Incaviglia. Here's the pitch. Fastball. That nips the outside corner. And Guzman is even 1 ball, 1 strike with Dan Gladden. Gladden is grounded to the shortstop and has been out on strikes. Guzman today has fanned 7 while walking 4. He walked 2, and the bases were loaded in the 5th when Randy Bush struck out. Jammed him with a fastball that time, and Gladden fouls it back into the seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seattle has a 3-0 lead at Kansas City with the Royals batting in the 6th. Early a station break, and we'll take that right after Gladden bats. Gladden will be followed by Gagne and Kirby Puckett. Jose Guzman reading signs, goes through the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Gladden is out on strikes. He went for an off-speed breaking ball. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification right here on the Twins Radio Network.
Skies are partly cloudy, 53 degrees currently at 9:32. You're listening to the Twins on 1060 KGFX Pier.
Along with Herb Carneal and John Gordon, I'm John Rooney. I'll tell you what, Herb, if yesterday's game doesn't get a Twins fan excited or anybody connected with the ball club, nothing will.
So that first inning alone could make a highlight film, couldn't it?
It sure could. The way the defensive play and then the big shooters coming out and hitting the home runs. Foul ball back out of play off the bat of Greg Gagne. 1-1 count on Gags, who's 1 for 3 with a base hit back in the 3rd.
Ken Herbeck hit his home run. I think he ran about 15 feet with both feet in the air. He was on cloud 9. But that gave the Twins a 5-0 lead in the first yesterday.
Greg Gagne with an 0-1 count. Twins won the game 8-1, reducing the magic number to 1. 6-game lead with 6 to go. Had a ball outside, even count, 1-1 on Gagne. A little stirring in the bullpen for the Rangers down the right field line. The Twins are quiet now with their bullpen. A ball and a strike with 1 out and the pitch on the way. Gagne lays off a high outside offering. 2 balls and a strike.
George Brett knocked in a run on a ground out. It's now 3-1 Seattle at Kansas City after 6.
The pitch on the way. Gagne was out in front of the changeup and fouled the ball. It rolls out in front of the plate. Hit Greg in the batter's box. And home plate umpire Rocky Rowe inspecting the baseball. Throws it back out to Guzman. 2-2.
You announced a while ago Mark Clare pitching for the Brewers. He made an error in the bottom of the 9th inning, allowing Charlie Moore and Jesse Barfield to score, cutting the Brewer lead to 6-4 now in the bottom of the 9th.
Baltimore beat Detroit 3-0. Here's the pitch. And a foul ball out of play keeps the count at 2-2. I don't think they're doing any scoreboard watching at Exhibition Stadium, do you? That is, if you can see the scores up there on their scoreboard, which doesn't happen too often. What's the attendance tonight, Herb?
9,586. 9,586.
The wind and the pitch to Gagne. He swings and strikes out. Guzman took a little bit off the curveball and has struck out 9 for the game. Gladden and Gagne have gone down on strikes here in the top of the 7th inning. 3-3 is our score. The Twins got their 3 in the 4th inning after the Rangers scored 3 in the bottom of the 1st. And Greg Gagne out on strikes for the 2nd out brings Kirby Puckett to the plate. Kirby got his 200th hit of the year with a single to left after 2 were gone in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. line by Guzman, the pitch. And Kirby takes the fastball over for a strike. Puckett has 28 home runs, 98 driven in. His batting average, .331. Incaviglia is playing extremely deep in left field. The line by Guzman, the 0-1. Puckett swings, takes it the opposite way. A deep fly ball to right field. It's twisting and going up into the seats, foul. Boy, Kirby muscled up and took that one about 340 feet down the right field line, but just to the right of the foul pole. The 9 strikeouts, we're told, for Guzman. It's the 4th time he struck out 9 this year. So after getting off to a terrible start and being demoted to the bullpen, Guzman has come around pretty well for the Rangers. 14-12 mark at this point. He's been very effective since the 1st of June. Puckett back to the batter's box in the hole. The pitch. Swing, and there's a high drive. Hit out into center field. Backing up McDowell. He has room and makes the catch as he gets back to the warning track. Coming across for the Twins. We're at the 7th inning stretch in Arlington with the Twins and the Rangers tied at 3.
Don't get caught without the right tools. Get quality Vermont American tools. You'll get them at Farmers Union Oil in Highmore.
So 1 pitch, 1 out, and Necro works into the 7th inning, and with 1 away, he'll be facing Tom O'Malley. Earlier, Herb, would you have believed that Necro would be around for the 7th inning?
No, sir. Joe had a very shaky first inning. He might have been only about 1 hitter away from being removed in the first inning of the ball game because he had given up 3 hits. He walked a man at 2 wild pitches.
Now he faces O'Malley, and the knuckleball is over for a strike. O'Malley has a couple of hits tonight. He singled to left center field in the second, cut off by Gladden on a bare hand play, and then Gladden threw O'Malley out trying to advance for a double. And then a base hit in the 4th inning when the Rangers left 2 men on. There's a swing and a drive down the right field line. Fair ball. It's going to the corner. Over to get it, Tom Brunansky. O'Malley will go to second base. He hesitated going around first. And then as the ball got away from Brunansky and rolled out into fair play, hugging the wall out there, O'Malley then turned up the speed and moved into second base. And we're going to have a pinch runner now for O'Malley. As coming into the ball game, Cecil Espy, he'll be taking over at second base. You think O'Malley was thinking about the second inning when he got tossed out?
No, I don't think there's any doubt about that. He doesn't run real well anyway, but he was very cautious when he rounded first base there, going to second base. Didn't want it to happen twice in one game to get thrown out at second base. I was going to say, as far as the first inning, in fairness to Joe Necro, a couple of hits really were not that well hit.
Right off the end of the bat.
Yeah.
But he added to his problems with the wild pitchers.
That was the thing that concerns you in the first inning, is the inability to throw strikes.
7th inning, the go-ahead run is on second base. 1 out after the double by O'Malley. Espy is on as the pinch runner. Jerry Brown is the batter. Here comes Tom Kelly. And ready in the bullpen, number 40, Juan Berenguer has been out there throwing. Berenguer has been up a couple of times. And I'm sure that Juan, or Johnny as his teammates call him, is ready. Tom has kind of second-guessed himself a few times with Necro this year, saying, well, I left him in either a batter or maybe an inning too long, and he's not going to leave Necro in now. He's going to make the pitching change. So we have the pitching change with the go-ahead run on second base, 1 away in the 7th inning. Juan Berenguer will come in, and while he comes on to warm up, we'll be back in 90 seconds.
Juan Berenguer gets the call here, his 46th appearance. 40th out of the bullpen. Juan has won 7, lost 1. He's had 4 saves. He has struck out 108 batters in 109 in the 3rd innings, allowed only 99 hits and walked 47. ERA is at 4. So again, the Brewers beating Toronto 6-4. Baltimore beat Detroit 3-0. Jack Morris took the loss. He struck out 10 batters in 8 innings in that game. But he's now 18-11, and the Tigers remain 2.5 behind the Blue Jays in the East. So now with a runner on second, 1 out, here's Jerry Brown against Berenguer. John?
Well, Berenguer could be the winner. He has to keep it at 3-3. Necro can now win it. He could be the loser should the Texas Rangers score. But it's Berenguer's job to keep the game tied at 3 as he throws a high fastball to Jerry Brown, who's 1 for 3 tonight. This is what Berenguer has been working for since pitching for the Tigers. the '84 World Championship team, pitching against the American League as a starter, a reliever. There's a swing and a miss. Berenguer looked like he threw the split-finger fastball with the pitch dropping a little bit. Certainly had plenty on it, getting it by Brown. A ball and a strike. Now, Berenguer did not pitch in the championship series against Kansas City in '84, nor did he pitch in the World Series against the San Diego Padres. And it's all the more incentive for Berenguer to get back into postseason play. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball through the shortstop. Gagne plays it. The throw over to first base is in time to get Brown, but Cecil Espy takes third base on the ground out. Now they're 2 away, and Berenguer will go right after Scott Fletcher, who has a chance to put the Rangers in front. Fletcher is 2 out of 3. Base hit, a run scored in the first, fly out to center field in the second, and then a base hit in the fifth. But he was doubled up on Sierra's line drive to Herbeck back in the 5th inning. 2 double plays for the Twins tonight. All it takes is 1 now, 1 out here to get out of the 7th inning for the Twins. Looking ahead to the 8th, it's Herbeck, Gaetti, and Bush coming up from Minnesota.
John, at fans at Kansas City, a single by Phil Bradley of the Mariners scores Donnell Nixon. 4-1 Seattle, top of the 7th. Lefty Jerry Don Gleaton in relief now for the Royals.
What was it Bradley's teammates said about him, that he has not driven in a crucial run at all? That was in response to Phil's demand to be traded. There's a pitch up to the right-handed batting Scott Fletcher. A lead at third base for Cecil Espy. He came in as a pinch runner for O'Malley, who doubled with 1 out. And Espy went to third on Brown's ground out. Berenguer from the set. He deals it. Fastball, foul. Just nicked the bat. The ball went in and out of Gutierrez's glove. A ball and a strike on Fletcher for the Twins and the Texas Rangers in a 3-3 game, bottom of the 7th inning. A Twins win or a Royal loss, and the Western Division race is decided in the American League. San Francisco needs a win to salt away the National League West. No score in the second between San Francisco and San Diego. Swing and a miss. Flint reaching for a pitch down and away. And there are 2 strikes now, and Fletcher a 1-2 count. Berenguer rubs up the baseball. He's really fired up. You can see it when Juan is ready to work. He bounces around on the mound. He's anxious to pitch. He doesn't take very much time. Now, Fletcher's going to make him take a little more time as Fletcher backs away from home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Berenguer waits. Fletcher digs in, chokes the bat a couple of inches. The outfielder swing way around toward right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. And a high chop to third. Gaetti fields it. His throw across is on the money. And the side is retired, and the Rangers can't cash in on O'Malley's double. No runs on a hit. A man left. 5 have been stranded. And after 7 innings, the game is tied at 3.
This is where you hear Minnesota Twins baseball. 1060 KGFX.
A defensive change for the Texas Rangers as we go to the 8th inning. Steve Buechele will take over at third base. Steve Carlton has started to throw down the left field line for the Twins. And the Twins are coming to bat on the 8th with Kent Herbeck. And we move back to Herb Carneal in this 3-3 game.
Okay, John Rooney, Kent Herbeck leading it off, and Guzman's first pitch to him is up high. 1 ball and no strikes. Herbie is walked, doubled, off the wall in left, scored a run on Lombardozzi's homer, and walked in the 5th. And the pitch swung on a ground ball to the right of the bag at second in the center field. A base hit. Herbeck has been on 4 times. 2 hits and 2 walks. So the Twins get the go-ahead run on now here in the top of the 8th inning, and Gary Gaetti coming up. He's wide to left, right on the short, and had a base on balls.
He just missed that pitch back in the 1st inning, didn't he, Herb? Hitting that fly ball out to the edge of the track.
Incaviglia made a pretty good try for it. He banged into the wall, fell down as the ball hit up off that 11-foot high wall out there in left field. Now Gary Gaetti at the plate. Herbeck on first. O'Brien holding with him. Jeff Russell in the pen now for the Rangers, and there's a fastball strike over the knees of Gaetti. 0-1. Randy Bush on deck. Twins have had only 6 hits off Jose Guzman. Right-hander looking to Petrali for the sign. Here's the set. In comes the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball. And a leaping grab by Buechele. The throw to first. Got him. Nice play by Buechele. A high bouncing ball. Buechele leaped behind third base. Got the ball. Made the long throw in time. Herbeck gets over to second now with 1 away. That'll bring up Randy Bush, who has struck out 3 times against Guzman. Swinging the first 2 times. He was called out on the 5th. Lefty Steve Carlson now throwing in the Twins bullpen.
No question, by making that play, it saved a second and third situation for the Minnesota Twins. So Buechele comes off the bench and does a great job.
Fletcher, the shortstop, pulling way over towards second now for Randy Bush as Guzman, the right-hander, delivers. Inside. Turns him away from the plate. 1 ball to Randy. Tom Bernansky on deck. Texas scored 3 in the first, and the Twins tied it on Lombardozzi's 3-run homer in the 4th. Texas outfield slightly toward right. Although Incaviglia pretty much straight away in left field. McDowell shading over a bit in right center. As Guzman checks Herbeck at second base. The right-hander delivers. A sinker swung on. Line drive into center field for a base hit. McDowell plays it on the bounce. Herbeck will stop at third base. And now they're going to get Bush at second, I think. Yep, they got him at second base. McDowell charging the ball in right center. Fired it in. It was cut off by O'Brien, who threw it to Fletcher, and I got Bush at second. Bush hit that ball hard, but he's out at second base on an 8-3-6 putout. That could be a big out, depending on what happens here, because now Herbeck is on third with 2 out, whereas before he might have been able to score on a fly ball. Bobby Valentine, the skipper of the Rangers, walking out to the mound with Herbeck the go-ahead run at third and 2 outs. So the Rangers come up with 2 big plays here in this inning, and it looks like Valentine's going to the bullpen for Jeff Russell. Guzman relieved 7 2/3 innings. 7 hits, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts. Russell, the right-hander, coming in. So with the pitching change, there'll be a break in action. We'll pause for 90 seconds.
Former Reds right-hander, big Jeff Russell, is on doing the pitching now. 5-4 record. He has saved 3 games, 94 1/3 innings, 106 hits. He has 50 strikeouts. Make that 55 strikeouts, 50 walks. 3 saves this year, and Russell is on to face Bernansky, Herb.
Okay, John. Bernansky has popped the second walk fly to left. The right-hander delivers, and it's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Tied at 3 in the top of the 8th inning. Ken Herbeck on at third base with 2 out. And the pitch. Fastball inside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. I thought Kent Herbeck was going to try to score on that base hit.
But he was pulling up after he rounded third. Rick Rennick and Kent Herbeck got the signals crossed up because Rick Rennick, after hesitation, started motioning Kent home, and then Kent put on the brakes.
There's a swing and a fastball and a foul back out of play, and the count now 1-2 to Tom Bernansky.
Well, there are a lot of factors involved over a split seconds decision. You know what, Herb, with Kent's injury and his movement, and if Rennick can feel that Kent could score, he's waving home, and that's what happened. It all takes place so fast, and it happens every now and then where they do get the signals crossed, and that's why Herbeck's on third base.
All right, 1-2 now to Tom Bernansky, and he steps out of the batter's box. Right now, the Rangers have the left-hander Mitch Williams in the bullpen. Outfield straight away on Bernansky. The infield back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the set by Russell. And the right-hander's pitch. Swing foul in the first base seats. And the count rides along at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tom Bernansky. Jerry Reed, a right-hander, now starting the bottom of the 7th for Seattle. Lee Grudeman pitched 6 good innings for the Mariners. And now Reed, the right-hander, on with the Mariners leading 4-1. Last of the 7th at Royal Stadium. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tom Bernansky. Here's the set by Jeff Russell. Herbeck on third. The pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball down to Buechele behind the bag. And it's ruled a foul that came off Bernansky's foot. Tommy stays up there, still with a count of a ball and 2 strikes. Twins fans Cindy and Jim Hayes are here.
Kansas City didn't score in the 7th. It goes to the 8th. Seattle 4, Kansas City 1.
And you know the Twins want to win the game here. I don't like to use that term back in because the season's too long, I think, to use that term. But most of the guys feel like they'd really rather win it themselves than have to go in on somebody else's loss. Here's the set and the pitch to Bernansky. Slider a little bit low, and it's 2-2.
At Los Angeles, Herb Ron Davis is on in the 7th inning for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Lopsided game, Houston 11, LA 5.
Had 2 big homers. Terry Pools at a grand slam. Glenn Davis, a 3-run shot. Ball 2, strike 2. Russell to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball just inside. 3-2 now to Bernansky. Full count to Tom Bernansky. On deck is Steve Lombardozzi, who hit the big 3-run home in the 4th inning. With 2 out to tie the score. Russell. Okay, it's the sign from Petrali. Working out of the set. The right-hander delivers to Bernansky. Swing and a foul in the first base seat. And the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Russell getting an exchange of baseballs. Other Twins fans tonight include Mary Stranges, Jerry Rowe, Joe Pagano, Jim Manole, Steve Gansky, Rick Underberg. A lot of Twins fans here. And Bernansky steps out of the batter's box.
At times it sounded like most of the 9,586 came for Twins fans.
Gave Gladden a big hand when he threw out those 2 runners early in the game. Here's the pitch by Russell. Swing a low chopper down the third base line to Buechele. It's a foul ball. So Bernansky will have to come back and try it again. Quite a battle here between Bernansky and Jeff Russell. He's fouled off several pitches, 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Let's see, we have Deb Johnner here. Have a family back in Hazleton, North Dakota. Jim Frank Currington. Also, soon to be, we have Mr. and Mrs. Mike Miller, transplanted Twin Cityans here, now living in Dallas. 3-2 to Tom Bernansky as Russell gets ready to go. Here's the set. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Bernansky takes it low and he gets a walk. Throw him a low slider, and the Twins now have runners at the corners. And Tom Bernansky on first, Herbeck on third, and Lombardozzi will be the batter. Lombo fly to right in the 2nd. Then he hit that big 3-run homer into the left field seats in the 4th. Struck out in the 6th. 3-all here in the 8th inning. Runners to the corners and 2 out. Carlton continues to throw in the Twins bullpen. O'Brien holding at first with Bernansky. Herbeck leading at third, and the pitch. Strike on the outside corner with a fastball. 0-1. Jeff Russell, who did a good job in a game in the recent series at the Metrodome, using mostly as a middle reliever. Now the set by the right-hander. Here's the pitch to Lombo, and a slider low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Russell pitched 4 2/3 innings in the first game of the series last Tuesday. Gave up just 1 run and 2 hits. Mitch Williams, he's still out there in the pen, the left-hander for the Rangers. And here's Russell's pitch. Swing a line drive right field. Base hit. Herbeck will score. Here is Bernansky around second going to third, and the Twins lead 4-3. Boy, another big hit for Steve Lombardozzi. A line shot by the first baseman O'Brien into right field. 4 RBIs for Steve Lombardozzi, and it is now a 4-3 Twins lead in the top of the 8th. Herbeck scoring, and Bernansky going to third. And now Sal Butera will give way to Gene Larkin here with Runners at the corners and 2 down in the 8th inning.
I think the key to this inning, Herb, is Tom Brunansky's at bat. He fell behind quickly and was able to work away, fouling pitch after pitch from Russell, and then working the walk to give Lombardozzi another opportunity to be a star of the game tonight with 4 runs batted in, a 4-3 Twins lead.
All right, and now Gene Larkin, who will bat left-handed against Russell. And before he comes up, we'll pause here 10 seconds for station identification on the Twins Radio Network.
You're listening to the Minnesota Twins on 1060 KGFX Pier. It's 10:02.
Well, it doesn't look like Russell will get an opportunity to pitch to Larkin. Bobby Valentine has gone out. He's going to bring in Mitch Williams, the left-hander. And that means that Larkin will bat right-handed. So Russell, who was in there, credited with a third of an inning. He gives up 2 hits and a walk. They got Randy Bush trying to stretch his single into a double. So Mitch Williams, the left-hander, comes on. The Twins leading 4-3 in the 8th inning. Runners at first and third, 2 out. And with a pitching change right now, we'll pause for 90 seconds.
Well, with a magic number of 1 for the Twins to clinch the West. They lead by 1, 4-3 over the Rangers, top of the 8th inning. Runners at first and third, Brunansky at third, Lombardozzi at first base. Larkin was announced as the pinch hitter, and that's when Bobby Valentine made the move, removing Russell, bringing on the left-hander Mitch Williams. And then Tom Kelly made a move, as Don Baylor will be pinch hitting for Gene Larkin. 83rd appearance for Williams, 8-5 record, 6 saves. The left-hander is set to go against the right-handed batter Baylor as we go back to Herb.
All right, Don hitting 243, 16 homers, 62 runs batted in. For the Twins, he's hitting 279. Throw to first, almost threw the ball away, and there's a balk. A balk called on Mitch Williams, and that's going to mean Brunansky will score to make it 5-3 Twins. A balk called on Williams. Now he's asking for an explanation from Greg Koss, the first base umpire. The Twins take a 2-run lead.
Koss, I think, is saying, Herb, that Williams was dragging his foot before making the move to first base.
Moved his foot, but while it was still on the rubber, and he almost threw the ball away anyhow.
And O'Brien is getting the explanation from Koss. Valentine comes out to the top step of the dugout. A 2-run lead for the Twins now, 5-3.
Boy, how about that? They bring in a pitcher, a relief pitcher, to pitch to Larkin. The Twins switch to Baylor, and then Williams commits a balk without throwing a pitch. And the delivery's outside to Baylor, ball 1. So the Twins with a 2-run lead now. Lombardozzi on second. 2 out. Here's the set by Williams, number 28. The left-hander delivers. Breaking ball, swinging and miss. A hard slider in on Baylor, 1-1.
This has really been a tough situation for Baylor. Coming over to the Twins, he hasn't been playing full time, but he's the first one to admit that the Twins were winning before he got here, that Tom Kelly has been able to get the most out of Roy Smalley and Gene Larkin as the DH, and that he'll just have to do the best he can when he's called upon.
And a fastball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. For the Twins, Don has had 12 hits, 5 runs batted in, and 43 of that. As Williams, the left-hander, to the set, checking Lombardozzi. Here's the pitch, and a tie. 3 balls and 1 strike. Williams gave up a 3-run homer to Seattle's Dave Hengel in the last of the 8th at the Kingdome yesterday, and the Mariners won that game 5-3. 3-1 to Don Baylor. Here's the set and the pitch. Strike fastball inside part of the plate, and the full count now, 3-2. Mitch Williams in his 83rd game tonight. Rob Murphy appeared in his 83rd game tonight for Cincinnati, tying the record for the most appearances by left-handed pitchers. And Mitch Williams bluffs a move to second base.
I knew he had been in a lot of ball games, sir, but I had to do a double take when I saw that 82 in the stat
seem like he's been in that many, does it? That's what it says. 82 before tonight for Mitch Williams. And the pitch is low, and Baylor gets a walk. And they'll bring up Gladden, who is single to center, grounded to short, and struck out in the 5th. And again, in the 7th inning.
Chris Patero is going to come on to run for Don Baylor.
Twins down with runners at first and second. Here comes Bobby Valentine out again. Yes, I believe that's Mahorsic in the bullpen now. Looking at Williams in the 83 games he's been in, he's only pitched 103 and 2/3 innings. So, number 34, Dale Mahorsic, will come in to pitch now for Texas with Gladden coming up. Mahorsic. So Williams pitches to one batter, gives up a walk. Another pitching change, breaking the action. Let's pause 90 seconds.
Well, the new pitcher is Dale Mahorsic. This year he's won 7 and dropped 5, saving 16 games for the Rangers. And he is on for appearance number 72, Herb.
All right, and Dan Gladden at the plate with 2 on, 2 out, 2 runs in. The Twins leading 5-3 in the 8th. Here's Mahorsic with the first pitch, and it's outside and low. Ball 1. Mahorsic, the 4th pitcher used in the game by the Rangers.
The 3rd this inning.
So far, the previous 2 relievers have not been able to actually retire a batter. Here's the pitch by Mahorsic. And there's a strike. 1-1 now. Well, the Red Sox blew a 7-0 lead in that game against the Yankees in New York. They had a 7-3 lead in the last of the ninth. The Yankees have tied it up, and they're still batting. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the set, and Mahorsic delivers. A swing and a pop-up down towards first, foul ball. Pete O'Brien across the line, and he's under it, makes the catch. Gladden fouls to first, but the Twins come up with 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning on 3 hits. No errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Twins 5, the Rangers 3. Tim Laudner will come in to do the catching now for the Twins. Laudner will be batting in the number 9 spot. For Texas, Ruben Sierra, Pete O'Brien, and Larry Parrish, the heart of the batting order against Baron Gary here in the 8th inning. The Yankees, Mike Easler hit a 2-run home in the bottom of the 9th inning, capping a 6-run 9th inning for the Yankees, and they beat the Red Sox 9-7. The Red Sox had a 7-0 lead after 5.5, 7-3 going into the 9th inning. Here's a high fly ball, straightaway center field. Kirby Puckett tapping the glove out there, waiting. He has it. Sierra, first ball hitting, flies to center. He had singled to left, popped to third, lined into a double play unassisted by Herbeck. Now O'Brien, the first baseman, he's walked, struck out with a 2-3 put out, grounded to second. And there's a strike. Nothing in 1 to number 9, Pete O'Brien. Twins leading 5-3, last half of the 8th inning. The windup by Baron Gary in the pitch. That's that split-fingered fastball, and it's popped up, shallow center field. Lombardozzi out, Puckett on, Puckett calling. Puckett has it, 2 away. O'Brien flies to center, and there were 2 Rangers gone. It'll bring up Larry Parrish, who has flied to left to drive in a run in the first inning, grounded to short the 3rd, walked in the 6th.
Designated hitter, Larry Parrish.
2 out and nobody on, last of the 8th inning. A swing and a miss. Boy, I'll tell you, Parrish just about came out of his shoes on that swing. Now the breaking ball low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Baron Gare winding. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit in the air to deep center field. Puckett is over to his glove side. He's there. He has it. Puckett with 3 putouts in the last of the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. The Twins 5 and the Rangers 3. Arlington. Back in Minneapolis. with his family. There's a pitch inside the Gagne. Ball one. Ninth inning at Kansas City now, and it's 4-1 Seattle over the Royals. And right here, the Twins 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. The Rangers 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Mahorsic, the right-hander, delivers, and a swing and a miss at a good sinker, 1-1. Gagne is fly to center, single to left, fly to center, and struck out. Corey and Dahl from Fort Worth at the game. Wanted to be remembered to the family and friends back in Minnesota. They like the Rangers, but they have the Twins number 1 in their hearts. There's a swing and a miss by Gagne, 1-2. Corey and Dahl. 5-3, the Twins in the lead here in the 9th inning. And a 1-2 count to Greg Gagne. Number 34, Dale Mahorsic on the mound for the Rangers. Delivers a slider swung out, hit in near the shallow left field, and that ball is going to drop in for a base hit. Gagne takes a big turn at first and holds on. Well, fly ball, single to left for Gags, his second hit.
Center fielder,
Kirby Puckett is fly to center, struck out, single to center, and fly to center. So over to first base. Gagne gets back in time. Kirby Puckett, who got his 200th hit of the season in the 5th inning. Swing, little bouncing ball hit out to second. Jerry Bow flips it over to Fletcher. Out. The relay to first base is not in time. Puckett beat the relay. Fletcher couldn't get a line on his throw to first base. 4-6 on the force of Gagne. More Twins fans here. So they're really excited to be here to watch the Twins. Mary Jean Staub, Little Falls, Carol Moss, Wadena, Jim Fay, Twin Valley, Margaret Hellman, Foley, Della Coleman from Bird Island, Elizabeth Hanson from Cloquet, Arlene Blandrett of Cliffwall, Minnesota, I believe that is. And Bobby Valentine's coming out of the Texas dugout. Grace Leslie from Minot. Richard Harp from Minot. Stacy Peterson from Bismarck. Evelyn Green from Jamestown, North Dakota. Theo Marr from Minot. And Delbert Niemeyer from Beatrice, Nebraska. Boy, I tell you, it was quite a delegation of Twins fans here tonight. And Steve Howe, a one-time Twin left-hander, is going to get the call here to pitch to Kent Herbeck. Steve Howe, number 57, will come on. So we'll pause now with the pitching change, pausing for 90 seconds. Number 57, Steve Howe, who was signed earlier this year by the Texas Rangers. Howe, who pitched briefly with the Twins in 1985, was in 13 games for the Twins that year. You know, he's had substance abuse charges and has been suspended several times from baseball. There's a bouncing ball down to O'Brien. He throws it to second base, and they force out Puckett. Ken Herbeck, who had walked, double, walked, and singled, forces Puckett at second base from O'Brien to the shortstop Fletcher. Now there are two down, and Gary Gaetti coming up. For the Rangers this year, Steve Howe, who pitched for a while at their farm club in the Association of Oklahoma City. With Texas, he's 3-3 and has one save. This is his 21st appearance. 31 hits in 26 innings, 6 walks, 18 strikeouts. Gary Gaetti, who's flied to left, grounded to short, walked, and tapped to third. Gary 0 for 3 in the game. Twins leading 5-3 in the ninth. Howe delivers a fastball swung on a high fly ball to left field. Incaviglia is under it out there. Pete Incaviglia waits, makes the catch, and the side is out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning here at Arlington Stadium. The Twins 5 and the Rangers 3. Jeff Reardon will come on now to pitch the bottom of the ninth inning. Juan Berenguer did a fine job. He retired off 5 men to face him. And Jeff Reardon now in his 61st game of the year. He's 8-8 with 30 saves. 77 in the third inning, 69 hits, 27 walks, 81 strikeouts. ERA 4.6. Pete Incaviglia, who has singled the left center to drive it around in the first inning, called out on strikes in the fourth and hit into a 5-4-3 double play in the sixth. He'll be followed by Odeby McDowell and then Gino Petralli. 5-3, the Twins leading, bottom of the ninth inning. Reardon looking to Laudner for the sign. Incaviglia with 27 home runs, 79 RBIs. The pitch by Reardon is swung on and missed for 1 strike. 0-1. Outfield deep and slided to the left. Jeff Reardon, number 41, has the sign. Here's the right-hander's pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2. Seattle is now leading 5-1 at Kansas City in the top of the ninth. Bill Bradley has knocked in another run, this time with a double. 5-1 Seattle over Kansas City. They're in the top of the ninth at Royal Stadium. 0-2 now to Incaviglia. Reardon ready to go, and Incaviglia steps out. At third, Gagne at short, Lombardozzi at second, Herbeck at first, Laudner behind the plate, and the pitch is swung on and fouled off. Still 0-2 to Incaviglia. Dan Gladden in left field, Kirby Puckett in center, Tom Bernansky in right. Texas scored 3 times in the first inning. Lombardozzi hit a 3-run home in the fourth to tie it up. Lombardozzi got a single to put the Twins in the lead in the 8th inning. And the Twins scored their 5th run on a balk by Mitch Williams. Reardon ready to go. Here's the pitch to Incaviglia. Curve, just missed inside. Threw him a breaking ball, just missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Incaviglia steps out of the batter's box with McDowell on deck and Petralli to follow. Here's the set by Jeff Reardon and the 1-2 delivery. A fastball. That's been a shade high. Like a pretty good pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Incaviglia. Then he steps out of the batter's box. Reardon looking to Laudner. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Pete Incaviglia. Reardon out of the set. Here's the pitch. Swing, foul, back out of play. And the count holds at 2-2 to Incaviglia. The Twins 3 outs away from clinching the Western Division title. Incaviglia keeps stepping out. Now he gets back in there with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reardon from the set. Here's the pitch. A breaking ball a little bit high, and now it's a full count. 3-2 to Incaviglia. had 9 hits, but only 3 since the second inning. As Reardon okays the sign. From the set, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball. Incavilla swinging and missing on that fastball from Jeff Reardon. 1 down in the last half of the 9th inning, and here's McDowell, who has bounced to first, flying to center, and bounced to first. Left-handed batting, Odabe McDowell. Well, this game must be running about out for out with the one up in Kansas City. They're in the last of the ninth now, and the Mariners leading the Royals 5-1. They'll play McDowell just about straight away. And the first pitch is a curve blowing inside. Ball 1. Switch hitting Gino Petralli on deck. John Gordon has made his way down to the Twins locker room. We'll check in with John here in just a moment. There's a high fastball, 2-0. How you doing down there, John?
Just fine, Herb. Things are quiet right now. Clubhouse man Mike Wallace and his crew they've prepared the locker room. The bubbly is on ice, and everybody is just pacing right now in anticipation of the Twins Western Division Championship. Talk to you right after the game is over.
Okay, thank you, John. Here's the pitch by Reardon, and it's a strike. Fastball over to McDowell. He thought it was high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Reardon looking down for the sign from Laudner. 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And Reardon's 2-1 pitch. McDowell on a swing, and he missed. Didn't have a good cut. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. He looked like he was rather tentative on that swing. And the count now is 2-2. Jeff Reardon, who this year has struck out 82 batters in 77 2/3 innings. Now with a 2-2 count to Odabe McDowell. Jeff has the sign from the set, and here's the pitch. High with a fastball. So again, he goes the limit on the count, this time to McDowell with 1 out, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Reardon has the sign from Laudner. From the set, the 3-2 pitch. McDowell swings, hits a little bloop out into left field. It's going to fall in there for a base hit. Low pop fly single to left for McDowell, so the Rangers now will have the tying run out the plate in the person of Gino Petralli. The switch hitting catcher, he is single to left, reached on an error by Niekro and lined to left. Gino Petralli has been playing almost exclusively against right-handed pitching early in the year. He was switch hitting, but now he has gone to hitting strictly from the left side. And the pitch. Curve and the strike called, 0-1. Darrell Porter has come out on deck for Texas. With Bouchel, the right-handed batting third baseman, due up. Porter is coming out on deck. 5-3 Twins leading in the 9th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a line drive. It is hit to Lamberdosi. Throw to first. Double play. A double play, 4-3, and the 17-year drought for the Twins is over as they clinch the Western Division with his 5-3 victory. And what a fitting ending. Steve Lamberdosi, who drove in 4 runs tonight, grabbing that line drive off the bat of Gino Petralli and doubling up Odabe McDowell at first base. The Twins' third double play of the ball game, and the Rangers in the 9th with no runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. And also a fitting ending with Jeff Reardon getting his 31st save of the year as the Twins, who looked almost a sure thing to clinch it either by their win here or Kansas City's loss. And in what might be a photo finish, the Twins game is finished just ahead of the one in Kansas City, where the Royals are batting in the 9th and trailing Seattle 5-1. The Minnesota Twins, who last year won only 71 games, lost 91. They were 20 games under 500 last year. And the win tonight for the Twins is their 85th of this season, with 5 games still left to play. The Twins with 5 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. 9 left on. The Rangers 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and 6 left on. Joe Negro picks up the win, so he's 8-12. Save number 31 for Jeff Reardon in the ball game tonight. And the loss ties to Jose Guzman, who is now 14-13. Well, the players still out there around the ground congratulating each other. I think they've already started a little bit of the champagne celebration out behind the pitching mound. Guys had a couple of buckets or something out there that were thrown on each other. And listen to the crowd here. I did mention we've got a lot of Twins fans here. They give the guys a nice hand as they come back to the third base dugout. John Gordon, are you down there?
Yes, I am, Herb Carneal. I'm in the interview room right now. We're waiting for Tom Kelly. He'll be by, and John Rooney will have an opportunity to talk to him, and then, of course, we'll have an opportunity to talk to all the players and join in on the celebration with the Twins and the Western Division title. We're ready, Herb, so just we'll hold it right here. We'll wait for Tom Kelly, and following that, we'll have an opportunity to talk to Andy McPhail, Jerry Bell, and many of the players that will be here in the locker room joining in on the celebration. Okay, so let's just hold it right here. We'll converse back and forth. We'll have an opportunity, too, Herb, for you to chat with some of the players, because I know you want to talk with them from where you are in your position in the broadcast booth.
Okay, John Gordon, and I'm really surprised at the number of Twins rooters out here at Arlington Stadium tonight. All congregating down over the third base dugout here at Arlington Stadium. As the Twins nail down the Western Division title with a 5-3 victory over the Texas Rangers, and they have done so many times this year. The Twins coming from behind to win this one. They were down 3-0 after the first inning tonight. And Steve Lombardozzi in the fourth inning coming up with 2 on and 2 out. Hit a Jose Guzman fastball into the left field seats for his 8th homer to tie it up. And then Lombardozzi coming up in the 8th inning. Again with 2 out, lined a single past first baseman Pete O'Brien to score Ken Herbeck from third base with what proved to be the winning run. So the Twins, who have had, I think, a real good team effort all year long. The big guys, of course, get most of the notoriety, the publicity. People that justifiably get a lot of notoriety. Kirby Puckett and Ken Herbeck, Tom Bernansky, and Gary Guidy, people like that. But tonight, I think, again, so fitting that a fellow like Steve Lombardozzi would certainly emerge as one of the heroes in this game that decided the Western Division for the Twins. Lombardozzi with a career high, tying his career high with 4 runs batted in the game against the Texas Rangers tonight.
Herb, we're still waiting on Tom Kelly, and he should be in momentarily. Many of the players are coming through right now, and I think it's only fitting that we talk to TK first, so we'll wait for him. He'll be here shortly. He might have an opportunity first to talk to his team. Many of the players are in the clubhouse right now, but we're situated in this interview room, and I think it's best that we wait for TK. And once he gets in here, he's going to have an opportunity to talk to John Rooney. We'll carry that interview. Following that, we'll talk to Jerry Bell, Andy McPhail, many of the other players that all played an integral part in this championship season. Herb, my thoughts right now, and I know, of course, you'd like to express yours, but so many people don't realize the length and duration of a baseball season, the spring training and the start of the year, the wins and losses in April, just as important as the wins and losses in September. And the Twins hoping they could clinch it with a victory, which they did. And it's just great that it came up this way.
Well, that it is, and the Twins seem to have a way of just bouncing back as they did so many times this year. And also, I remember when the Twins won the pennant in 1965, the only time that we have been in a World Series. They didn't have the playoff system at that time in 1965, but that year the Twins won 102 games, and the year before they had only won 79, so they improved their record by 23 games in 1 year back then, and the Twins, who won only 71 games in 1986, already have won 14 more games than that this year. So congratulations to Tom Kelly and to all the people in the front office with the Minnesota Twins. Of course, we still have a way to go yet. There's that big hurdle of competing in the American League Championship Series with either the Toronto Blue Jays or the Detroit Tigers. And both those clubs, I suppose, were ready for a letdown after their terrific series in Toronto over the weekend. The Brewers beat the Blue Jays tonight 6-4, and the Orioles shut out the Tigers 3-0. So we don't know who's going to be the Twins' opponent in the American League Championship Series as yet. The Tigers, of course, will play the Blue Jays 3 games at home this weekend, and that could very well tell the story in the American League East. The first 2 games The championship series, of course, will be played next week on Wednesday and Thursday at the Metrodome, and the middle
we
school
have
team.
Tom Kelly.
Okay, John.
Okay, we have Tom Kelly, and he's going to be joining John Rooney right now. So just hold the line for just 1 second. Let's hand the microphone here. Joe, hand that microphone. On WCCO. And how about your reaction, Skipper?
Telling you to back up. Geez, I'm just so happy. I just stood in the dugout and watched the guys out on the field, and it's very rewarding.
Tommy, I remember a conversation that we had going down on the winter tour. We were going down to Mankato. You said your goal was to get the program on track to manage well enough to keep your job for next year, and I think you've done that.
Well, I can't do it without good players, and Andy McPhail got me some real good players to work with, and Dick Such kept the pitching glued together for us, and the guys played outstanding, and to pick the most valuable player out of our bunch, you can't really do it because all of them have contributed in their way. And I'm just real happy to be part of it and part of the Minnesota Twins organization.
Back when things looked so good coming out of spring training into the regular season, could you imagine anything like this happening in your first year as manager?
More than any man could ever expect happen in the first year and managing a major league ball club. And I don't know what. I just thank the Lord for giving me the opportunity, and Mr. McPhail and Mr. Polat for giving me the confidence to run their ball club. And you can't do it without good players and good pitching, and the guys really responded to our brand of baseball, and they all came through. And you just can't say enough about the guys. They really busted their tails all year for me, and I'm real proud of them.
And it really started when you signed Juan Berenguer and made a great deal getting Reardon over here.
Well, that's all Andy McPhail's doing. He made the trades. He picked up Juan, Gladden. He can go on. And they all blended together real well, and the mix was good, and of course, Reardon at the end, you can't ask for anybody better than that. So,
congratulations, Tom Kelly. Get on back to the celebration and enjoy it. All right? Tom Kelly.
Herb, this is bedlam, I mean to tell you, and of course, we've got a tremendous media blitz here, too, reporters and TV cameras and what have you, so we did hear from Tom Kelly. I might add, a very emotional Tom Kelly, which is quite interesting. I think at the beginning of his interview with John Rooney there, almost a time of breaking down for Tom Kelly, which is something we've not seen from him as far as emotion is concerned during the course of this 1987 season. We're kind of stuck in this media room right now. Nobody has been allowed into the clubhouses yet, and I don't think they're going to be allowed for another couple of minutes. So now they're allowed in. So I'm going to turn it back to you for just a second or so. I'll continue to hold the microphone and hear you live, and then I'll be able to get in there and perhaps talk to some of the players and such, okay?
Okay, John, thank you very much. And back here in the broadcast booth atop Arlington Stadium, again, I think it was a very emotional moment there for Tommy Kelly when it finally registered that the Twins were the Western Division champions. Tommy Kelly, of course, has been kind of a quiet, unheralded fellow throughout his baseball career. He really never made it to the major leagues. He did have a cup of coffee, as they say, one year with the Twins, was up very briefly, but turned to managing as a very young manager in the minor leagues, and did an outstanding job in the minor leagues. He managed there for 5 years, and on 3 different occasions, Tommy Kelly was named the minor league manager of the year wherever he was managing. And then, of course, came up and I thought was an outstanding third base coach for several years with the Minnesota Twins. And I don't know of a player on the club who wasn't rooting for him to get the managerial job this year.
Herb,
yeah,
I've got Jerry Bell right here, president of the Minnesota Twins. Congratulations.
Super. Congratulations to you. I'm sure glad we won it the way we did it. I don't know if that Seattle game was over or not, but I'm glad they didn't put the score up till ours was over.
Okay. Congratulations to you, Jerry. Hey, the team did a great job, but there's also a team that's involved with the Minnesota Twins off the field, and I know they're to be congratulated here tonight.
You're absolutely right. We have one of the best front offices in baseball. All I have to do is get out of their way and let them do their job because they're terrific, they're experienced, they know what they're doing, and they do it well.
Greg Gagne, congratulations.
Thanks, John.
Hey, pal. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's just great. Right. Yep. Now we're just going to look forward to playing either Toronto or Detroit.
Okay. Greg Gagne, Howard Fox, Andy McPhail. Come on in here, Andy.
Hey,
we're live right now.
This is absolutely terrific, and I'd like to congratulate Tom Kelly, Jerry Bell, and Andy McPhail. What a job they did with this club. It's just been great.
All right, Andy.
Been a lot of fun, John. We just hope this is the first of 3. We got 2 more ahead of us.
All right, you're anticipating the championship series now. What are your thoughts? Who do you want to face, Detroit or Toronto?
It doesn't matter. We're just happy we're here. We feel confident. We play 4 games at home. We're going to beat whoever we play. It really doesn't matter.
Okay,
bring it on, whoever it is.
Frank Viola.
Yeah, Frank.
What? We're live, and right now we're talking to the folks in WCCO, we're the Minnesota Radio Network, all the folks of the Twins fans of Minnesota.
What a great feeling it is. We worked hard all year, but we couldn't have done it without the fan support of Minnesota, and they're the best, and now we just have to keep it going.
Bert Blyleven, well, do me a favor if you will, put these headsets on. Herb Carneal would like to say hello to you. Herb, this is Bert Blyleven.
That's my best nephew down there. Congratulations, Bert, to you and the guys.
Thank you very much, Herb.
And that was a tremendous job, of course, yesterday. You've been through a lot, but I know this must be certainly one of the high points of your career, Bert.
Oh, it really is. I'm just really sorry that we didn't do it at home, but we're going to bring a winner home.
All right, let's save the best for last. Okay, Bert, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Bert Blyleven. Here's Timmy Laudner coming by, giving a hug. We'll try to get some more for you. Getting wrapped up in the court. Everybody will be on. Hugs for everybody. Timmy, we're live on WCCO and the Minnesota Radio Network. Say hello to the Twins fans who are celebrating with you tonight.
Hello, everybody. We love you all. Everybody, we love you. This is the most unbelievable thing I've ever been through.
Did you think it'd be anything like this?
It's about 10 times better than I thought it'd be.
All right, congratulations, Timmy. Everybody is a hero for the Twins. Randy Bush. Hey, Randy. Wheezy. Jim Wiesner. How about a wheeze hug for John Gay? This might be the happiest day of my life. I'm sure it is. Put these headsets on and talk to Herb Carneal, will you, please? All right. Herb Carneal, Jim Wiesner. Hey, clubhouse man.
How you doing? You drowned yet?
I'm still above water. I'll tell you, I'm happy as hell. We got that 1 foot on that ladder, and we're going to go right to the top. We're on the first rung, and we're going right up to the top.
Hey, listen, you and I've been through some tough times.
We were 2 tough times, but, we had some terrible road trips, and we come home and all the time, win, win, win. We did the job. Tom Kelly kept them there, and we're going. We're going right from here. All right, pal. God love you. Thank you.
Ken Herbeck of the Minnesota Twins. Say hello to all the folks in Minnesota.
How you doing, everybody? We're having fun. Hope everybody else out there is having fun with us. We're having a great time.
That's the headset, Herb Carneal. Talk to Ken Herbeck, if you will.
Hey, Herbie, congratulations. I'll tell you, it's come a long way since 1982, hasn't it?
You ain't kidding, Herb. We had breakfast this morning together, kind of. We talked a little bit about it. We never even brought up about winning the out here, and we had so much fun out there today. It was great, and just to come in here and celebrate, and I know the people back home are celebrating with us. We're sorry we couldn't win it back there, but I'm sure they feel with us here.
Well, we're talking to Bert Blyleven. Let's save the best for last and do the big thing at home.
I hear that, Herb. We'll be back home, and I know people will be waiting for us, and we're going to have some fun.
Hey, nice going, Herbie. Nice to have you back, kind of healthy anyway.
Great to be back, Herb. Here, we got Mr. Reardon coming here. And to close it out for you. Okay. Thanks, Herb.
This is Jeff Reardon. I don't know what to say to you. What are you saying right now?
I don't know. I'm so excited right now. The clubhouse is going crazy. This is what I dreamed of when I got traded, and right now it's the happiest day of my life.
Jeff, you were one of the key players on this ball club that helped to win this Western Division. I know, of course, you don't want to take as much credit as you should take, but you did a heck of a job for the Minnesota Twins this 87 season.
Thanks a lot, John. But, we got 24 guys on our team. If everybody doesn't go out there and do their job, then I can't do my job.
Here's Dan Gladden. Dan Gladden, come on over and say hello to the folks of Minnesota.
Hello, everybody back there. We're bringing it home.
What are your thoughts?
Well, this is what I think we worked all, spring training and all year for is to be in this position, and here we are, and we're going to enjoy this.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Here's Rick Stelmazik. Stelly, come on over and say hello, folks, the folks of Minnesota.
How you doing, folks? This is great. Wish you could be here.
Yeah.
See this. This is really something.
Describe it, if you will, for just 1 second, all right?
It's a culmination of 7 months of ups and downs, putting it all together, and coming up on top in our division.
All right, nice going, Stelly.
Thank you.
Another thing, too, Stelly, that should be said, the players, of course, they did a great job. Tom Kelly did a great job. But the coaching staff of Tom Kelly also worked very hard. Wayne Terwilliger. Come on in here, Trey. Say hello to the folks back in Minnesota.
Who's Western Michigan playing this week?
I don't think you care. You know that.
Is this sweet?
Yeah, this is really something.
It's nice to win. It's also nice to win in Texas. Really is.
I got our friends here. Tough luck, Texas, baby. By the way to go. Wayne Terwilliger of the Minnesota Twins, one of the coaches. Here's Doc Martin. Dick Martin, come on over. Say hello to the folks of Minnesota and all the folks listening on WCCO and the Minnesota Network tonight.
This is great. I've been waiting 16 years for this. Just beautiful.
You know, I'll tell you, Dick, you're a behind-the-scenes guy, but you kept a lot of guys healthy during the course of this 1987 season that helped in the stretch drive to win a Western Division pennant.
Oh, thank you, but the credit goes to the players, not to me. I just put the Band-Aids on, and they did the play.
All right, here's Al Newman. How about that double play? I tell you, it was awesome. It was awesome. There's no better feeling. I tell you, it led us to this victory. They were on last night, but tonight it just carried over, and the team came out and did the job. I'm telling you, it was really great. All right, nice going, Al. Congratulations to you on a very big year. Come on in here, 4-4. All right. Isn't this great? Oh, boy, I tell you. This is something. Tommy Burdetsky. Tommy. That's 3 you had. What a game, huh?
Unbelievable. Greatest feeling I've ever had in this game of baseball.
Tommy, I want to ask you a question, because in the eighth inning, when the Twins were just about to take the lead, Herbeck at third, you were at first, there was an intense moment. There was a quietness of the Twins dugout.
I'll tell you, everybody, since Dan Gladden threw out those 2 runners in the second inning, that was a big key. Everybody felt it in the clubhouse, everybody felt it in the field, and we turned it all around, and there's nothing but enthusiasm from that dugout. And we came out and took control. Got some burning stuff in your eyes, Jeff. Just a little bit. Keep talking. Oh, that's it. Well, I feel great. And we kept playing hard.
All right. You know, and then all of a sudden, it was just like you were on the verge of taking the lead in the ball game to win the Western Division.
You know, we come back, Colombo hits a 3-run home run. And it just seemed like every opportunity we had, we got to get away for a little bit. And they had opportunities, and we kept them away. And then all of a sudden, Colombo comes through that big clutch hit. You know, it's the greatest feeling when we took the lead.
All right, thanks, Tommy. Keith Atherton, nice going. Thank you.
Most exciting moment since I've been playing baseball.
Yeah. There isn't anything that relates to it, is there?
No, I've been playing the game for 10 years and never won anything. And get traded over here to a Super Ball club, and we hung in there all year, and we played some hell of a baseball. You know, we just hung in there, and we clinched it. That's the main thing.
You know, Keith, there's something that's to be said for the bullpen of the Twins this 1987 season. Jeff Reardon, of course, he did the job, but there's a lot of guys behind him. And I think there was a chemistry that developed in that bullpen with Rick Stelmazik and Dick Such, the pitching coach, that you fellas really responded to.
You know, the bullpen took a lot of pride this year. You know, myself, George, everybody, and Juan, Jeff, everybody that was in the bullpen this year, I think we've done a hell of a job for the ball club. And, anytime we got in the ball game, we try to hold it close so we can win the ball game. And, it's been a good year for the whole club.
Okay, congratulations to you. Nice going. Let me get Randy Bush. Randy! Come over and say hello to the folks from Minnesota. Randy Bush. Oh, boy, I mean to tell you. I'm going to have Randy Bush put these headsets on here, Herb, and you talk to him for just a little bit. Herb Carneal on the headsets. Hey, Randy. You down? Randy Bush. Randy? Yeah, Herb. How you doing? Congratulations to you. Thank you, Herb. Hey, you and I, we're one of the long sufferers going back to 1982. You came up that year.
That's right. I tell you, that was a long year. We lost 100 ball games, and people kept telling us to hang in there, that we had the talent, and we just had to get the experience, and I'm just so happy the way it's all worked out. I just thank God.
Well, you certainly made your contribution, and I thought it was kind of nice tonight that people like Dan Gladden and Lombardozzi played such a big role in tonight's win.
Outstanding. I think it's been a team effort all year, and we've had different guys come through, and sure, we got some stars. We got the Puckett's and Gaettis and Bruno and Herbeck, but boy, we got some other guys who can do the job too, and it's just outstanding.
It really has, Randy, and I can't imagine how great you must feel at this time. But when did you first think, that you really were going to win this division?
I really think when we came home from the West Coast trip and we were 4-9 on the trip, and we fell out of first place, and we had a big homestand. We played Oakland 4 games. And Tom Kelly had a team meeting before the first game of the homestand, and he said, guys, I'm going to challenge you right now to prove to me that you have the stomach to play in a pennant race. He said, because you haven't showed me yet. And we went out and swept Oakland 4 games in front of 160,000 of our great fans at home. And right then, I felt like there was no doubt we were going to win it. We weren't going to be denied.
Well, as I say, Randy, I know you're happy for yourself and also happy for Tommy Kelly, whom you've known for a long time.
I'm thrilled for him. I honestly, in my heart, did not believe we would have won it without him managing this year. And they picked the right manager. He's done a great job, and I'm just as happy for him as I am for myself.
Well, that's just great, Randy. And let's go get him now in the ALCS.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Here's Kirby Puckett. Puck, your thoughts?
Right now,
Put this on it. That's Herb Kern. Puck to Herb.
Hey, Herb, how you doing, buddy?
All right there, Puck.
All right.
Congratulations to
Thank you.
200 hits. And,
man.
Now we're going after the big game.
Oh, yeah, it feels great. I like to say hello to my wife, and I like to thank her for hanging in there with me, Herb. I've been hard to live with lately, and I just want to tell her I love her.
Well, I don't know. I know you love her, and I don't know if you've been that hard to live with. But